What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Knackers, and today is Sunday, September 20th, 2020, and this is episode 129!
That's a lot.
Poggies, dude. That's a lot. That's a lot of podcasts, my guy.
That's big pogs. It's crazy that it took 4 years to get... I mean, the podcast did used to be bi-weekly, like at the start. I guess it's always been technically bi-weekly with other shows kind of sprinkled in between, but I felt like I would have been farther ahead by now, but when you actually think about how many hours of content that is, let's see, 129 times, let's say 2 hours is probably an average. 258 hours of podcasts, so over 4 years? I guess that's all right. But anyways,
pretty good, man.
Tonight on the podcast, we have the beautiful... The Stashed middle-aged stream. How you doing today, buddy?
There he is.
Let's crack a lagging.
Hey, it's good to see you, man. How's your day going?
It's been a pretty good day. It's been a good day, man. It's good. Good to be here with you gents.
Good. And the skinny, gorgeous, and also mustache theo'd Bishop GP. How are you, sir?
Oh, I thought there was a self intro for a minute. I was like, okay, dude, that's okay. I see where you're going with that.
Right.
I'm doing good, man. I'm just actually looking at making an order for some new t-shirts, but Jimmy can talk about that a little bit later. But I'm doing great, man. I'm doing good.
MiddleAgeStreamMerch.com.
As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned it, I didn't want to plug myself in your podcast, but
Let's just start the podcast.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and drop this link in the chat room.
Well, here, how about this? Let's say Crocs and Hot Pockets episode 129 is sponsored by the Middle-Aged Stream, and I'll be awaiting my t-shirt. I wear large, by the way.
Okay.
Sound good? Is that a fair trade?
I think that's a good deal,
I think we can get you guys. I think we could get you guys some merch. I think we could take care of that. Now there are a variety of items up for sale, including flip flops, swimsuits for ladies. There is a beer kini out there. To make it simple for you audio listeners, if you just go to middleagedstream.com, that's with a D, of course. Then you can also find the merch store there. So, good times.
Page isn't loading.
Who needs a Who needs a bikini when you could just buy a couple of those stickers, Jimmy? And just
it's true. You
know,
I swear to God, the page isn't loading for me. I got a yellow.
It's
page.
not loading.
Dude,
It seems to be working for other people.
What the fuck?
You know what it is? It's the millions of fans we have here.
It probably
in
is.
the chat room,
You might have overloaded the website. So
yeah.
if it crashes, guys, you can try and get back to it later. Okay.
Or just give up entirely.
Or give up entirely until later when
and
you
never go back.
Get the urge to go buy some shit.
I would redirect you to knackers.com/merch, but my merch is trash.
I would redirect you to my merch site, but I don't even have a website, so I got to build one of those first.
You don't have a website at all?
I've had websites in the past. It's too much maintenance, man. I don't take this shit that seriously, man. I stream like once every fucking 6 weeks.
So even me as a part-time streamer, I find now, even though I'm so stoked with all of the options that the community has, bit emotes, tier 2, tier 3 emotes, transitions, there's fucking ways that you can change the emote if you're a tier 2 or you're a tier 3 and channel points. I am very much overwhelmed about trying to come up with all of those things. I'm sure if I sat down and I just did it, I could figure it out, but I've had it on a task list for myself for a while now, and I'm just like, do I redesign what I have? Do I try and continue what I have? Okay, is what I have scalable? How many bit emotes? Holy fuck!
Earmotes.
Bit
What the fuck is an earmote, dude? Is this like some merchandise for when you're cold? You just throw an earmote over your ears?
How many are there by default? I think there's 10 or 20.
There's quite a few, but can I give you a bit of advice?
Yes.
Because I was in a similar dilemma a few months ago. You know what I did was I took the time one day to go into other streamers that I liked, and I started looking at what they were setting their rewards for, and I looked at the ideas that I liked and the ideas that maybe I didn't, and I tried a bunch of different things, and I think I have it scaled now to where it works, and it's meaningful when you can redeem something. But it took a little bit of just testing things out. You know, you can't really know until you dip your toe in. And I think where it's at now, I still planning on making some changes, but it's a fun addition. But you're right, it can be overwhelming, and the scalability of it all, especially when Twitch changed the points and how you get points. You used to get a lot more initially if you were a sub. Right. You got like a 2 times multiplier or whatever, and now it's down to like a 1, a 1-2, and a 1-4 if you're tiered up or whatever. But
holy shit, you literally have every piece of merch imaginable.
Yeah, I was trying to make a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, I'm gonna change some stuff out, but I don't know.
Looks good.
You have to track the metrics on how many bikinis and onesies you sell.
I have
and then
not sold any swimsuits yet, but I am very hopeful that if any do get sold, I get a picture. I do, and now I already know that I'm gonna buy one for my wife, but she ain't gonna pay for it. I'm gonna have to buy it. But she told me she'd wear the one piece, so I said okay. I'll
definitely splurge on a beanie, and I've recently found out that I look okay in dad hats, so I've been thinking about some dad hats recently. Okay.
Well, they got the dad hat and the trucker hat if you want to go Kid Rock on it.
Yeah, I don't know about going that far, but one piece of advice that I will give you, I don't know if you've had anybody buy the hoodie or any of the shirts. So to you, it looks like that logo is going to be totally front facing, but I'm going to almost guarantee that when somebody buys that, the parts of those logos are going to stretch around to their sides. Like the beer cup one, whereas he's got arms and legs. What? No, that one's good because that one's actually it unless the scaling is just off. Is this designed by humans or is this Streamlabs?
No, it's Streamlabs.
Okay.
I scaled it similarly to how I scaled the other one, only because I knew that how this one scaled out on the shirt.
Okay.
So it's with the same proportions because I knew this one scaled.
So the t-shirt one looks like a good size. The beer hoodie, the mass beer hoodie, I'm afraid that once that gets printed, parts of the design is going to seep into the sides.
I can edit it.
Yeah. So I've done that mistakenly before, where I've made it too big, and it looked fine on the website, and then it looked terrible once it actually got printed.
I gotcha. Okay.
Dude, part of me wants to just copy and paste. Like, my merch is just a white picture of Jimmy's merch store. It's just a picture of the sweater.
Wait,
like
the one that loads or the one that doesn't?
The one that does load. Yeah.
I think you probably just maxed out your bandwidth for the day right then by plugging that, Jimmy. Because once we all started clicking on it, it started not loading.
It must, man. Like, all of a sudden, it was just like, bam, you know?
Listen, I'm in, dude. I feel like this is an exclusive club right now. I feel like I shouldn't miss out on the opportunity because I'm on the
you never
website
know
now.
how long that website's going to stay up. So
it's true, man.
Saying.
This is like Supreme, but better. It's like way more limited. It's a limited run product.
Anyway, so I wasn't really trying to make that all about my merch, but
that's all right.
It's quality products.
Listen, I think when we talk to NordVPN or any other sponsor, now they can see what treatment we really give any of our sponsors. We talk shit about your web hosting,
right?
And wow, we can't even handle the traffic. Boggers.
Get fucked, nerd. I'm gonna up you guys a little bit.
We give you recommendations on how you could fix your product and then shit on your fucking website.
I think you might be good now. I forgot that I had Discord turned down to like 60% from playing video games the other day. I just upped you guys, so the audio listeners won't care because it's all AI auto balance. But for you live listeners, suck my asshole. Just kidding. I love you. Thank you for letting me know. Anywho, hi, welcome to the podcast. Today is the date, and we're going to talk about stuff. So first and foremost, Jimmy, what have you been playing, and what the fuck are you drinking?
So I don't know. Did I beat Castlevania 1 on the last podcast we were on? I don't think so.
I didn't know you were playing more than one.
Yeah, so I beat Castlevania 1. I think it was it was after the last podcast. So I beat that, and then I jumped into Castlevania 4, and I've been pretty much playing that since. The only other game I played a little Battletoads with my son in the last 2 weeks, and I played a little bit of Fall Guys. And I've been playing Super Castlevania 4 for Super Nintendo since then. But I'm stuck like right at the It's almost right at the end of the game. I think I'm probably one, maybe two streams away from beating it. I just got to figure out this one platforming section is really, you kind of got to memorize what's coming up. So,
oof. Okay.
Isn't that what you said about Battletoads 3 months? before you beat it?
No. I when I was 4 or 5 days into Battletoads, I was barely halfway into that game, dude. And so don't get me started. But yeah, other than that, man, it's been like I've been back to work and just been grinding. I mentioned to you guys before the show, this will be my last time being here in this office since we're moving. This will be my last stream, actually. I'm not streaming, but you know what I mean. My last anything I'm doing from this space because I'm moving into my new space, which is 2 miles away. But
Do you
kind
feel
of
emotional
honor
right now?
well, I feel I do really, the sucky thing is I really like this office space now, especially when I literally redid all this about a couple weeks before we decided that we were going to sell this house. Like I totally redid my office.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my wife's like, well, we're going to sell the house. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
I feel like usually like when you move your shit around, that's when you know you're like, okay, this isn't really working for me. This is like my last dish effort to get this space to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Casey and I just did that. We moved. We have like 2 bedrooms. One of them I'm in right now, and then we have another bedroom that used to be where we slept.
Mm-hmm.
And she was out in like a foyer, which is like this. There was probably like maybe 10 feet wide space, and she had her desk set up in there, and that's where she streamed.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Hey, what if I move the?" She's been talking about moving her stuff into the bedroom, and then moving the bed out into the foyer. So like,
Can you say
enter
foyer
our
one
apartment-
more time?
Foyer.
Okay, thank you.
What do you call it? A foyer?
Foyer.
Foyer? A foyer? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Say it again.
You guys.
I also say
Foyer.
council, so
Foyer.
take that with a grain of salt.
This
Wait,
is
what do you
true.
say?
Council instead of console.
Console. Yeah.
It's okay.
would like
your
counsel on this matter.
I've got the red ring of death on my council.
Shut up.
But yeah, we moved the bed out into the foyer, and it's actually really nice. It's interesting. We did it right before all the forest fires took off, and of course, the entire foyer was filled with smoke through the 2 weeks. So yeah. So luckily enough, though, like we just jammed towels underneath our doors in our bedroom and in the office. So Casey and I kind of had a vacation from each other for like a week or so during the days, at least, because it was so smoky out there, and we were just like locked in our rooms. But yeah, it's interesting. Like moving shit around and like reorganizing the space. You like walk out there like, whoa, this is way different. But I think we're still kind of in the boat of like, is this really working for us, or should we move somewhere else?
I've sometimes thought about like, what would it be like to just sleep, not necessarily live? Like you're not going to bring your closet and your dresser and stuff out into the foyer, excuse me. I know I'm saying it wrong, but it's fucking Michigan. Like, what do you want from me?
I think Jimmy was shitting on me too, so I think
bit.
you guys have 2 votes against 1.
Okay.
A little bit.
As far
Anyway,
as
I was going to
foyer
tell you
is
guys what I was drinking before I was interrupted with your foyer story. So I'm drinking Wild Little Thing. This is my one I had pre-stream and I'm almost done with, but the one for the stream.
Oh, look at that. The orange can with light on it. What is it called? Punch
It's
something?
called Punch. It's called Prairie Artisan Ales Punch. And Knacker says the same one. And I knew that you picked this up. And when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, I haven't even had that Prairie yet. And so I went to the beer store today, and sure enough, they had it. So I made a special trip today so I could pick up this. So like I have literally never had, I'm about to experience this in a moment for the first time on stream, and I would love to describe it to you. So we're gonna make this a moment on the podcast in a little bit, and I will give you a short, for real review of this beer.
Thanks for that. The MO. I would have gone and gotten one as well, man. I feel left out now.
Well, hey, but all you gotta do,
you would have not responded to your text message until
you did not text me. You did not text me. Hold on. There is no.
No,
text,
I didn't
brother.
text you because you wouldn't respond. You wouldn't have responded.
How do you know that if you didn't even try?
Because
What
I
do you
already
mean?
know.
Okay. I feel you. See, you prepared for this podcast. I was a minute late. So.
Well, I didn't tell Knackers that I was going to get that beer. I just knew that he was going to have some too. So I thought we could have like a cool bro moment. If you were maybe in tune with the craft beers we were drinking that we've discussed on this podcast multiple times. You know what's funny right now?
Wait, you guys drink beer on these podcasts?
Wait, what?
You guys drink beer on the podcast?
But
really?
I literally, because I was trying to like make my point very well known to you, I literally almost hit my zoom in max button to change scenes when I'm streaming.
But if you wanted to, you can now because the virtual camness.
Oh yeah, you're right. I have to get that plugin set in. Yeah, you're right.
And now, Bishop, when you ask, well, have you guys ever tried each other's beers when we go over them? Yes, we have.
Actually, you guys are coordinated.
We are.
Yeah,
same wavelength, my friend.
We are.
I feel you. Yeah, I'm kind of on the outside on this one.
It's okay.
I think it's because my girlfriend makes me really great drinks, and maybe you guys are just jealous, so you coordinated this to get back at me.
You have something that we don't get. So, which brings us to you, actually. What is the note?
Yeah, let me just, sorry I don't have a can of liquid piss, but I've got myself a caramel apple old fashioned with caramel, apple cider syrup, bitter housewife, orange bitters.
You got a bitter housewife
bitter housewife, yeah. Oh. Orange bitter, bullet bourbon, pink pearl garnish.
I like bullet.
So, sorry I don't have your can of piss.
Can we see it? Can we see it again? I know Ernst will love this.
I kind of beat it up just a little bit, so that's my fault. Casey did a good job of prepping.
And it's in a mason jar too.
Mm-hmm.
And your dolphin saving straw, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, just save. You know what? Let's take a moment just to divert away from what we're talking about to talk about these straws. These metal straws in a mason jar can go fuck themselves. It is literally your teeth waiting to chip. I would rather see 100 dead dolphins than drink out of straws like this, because I chip my teeth every fucking time I drink them. I'm like, oh, and it's literally a piece of glass behind a piece of metal directing right into your teeth. I don't know if I just have big teeth, but it drives me fucking crazy. I would rather have plastic straws.
You do have a beautiful smile. When you guys go out to eat and you're sitting at, let's say you're going to Jimmy John's and you're going to eat in-house, when you grab a cup and fill up, do you do a topper and a straw, or do you just drink out of the cup?
Topper straw. It depends if I'm sitting in it. You asked if I'm sitting and drinking there.
Yes.
If I'm sitting there and drinking, I usually do no straw, but I usually refill, grab a straw and a lid on the way out.
Okay.
Same. If I were back in the before times, but I haven't been inside a restaurant like
in a while.
In a long time.
Yeah.
So.
I don't. Whenever we're sitting in a restaurant, I'll just grab the cup and fill it up and drink with my lips. And then if I leave, I'll grab a top and a straw. But I always try. I know I'm not getting the most for my money, but it's way better to have one pop than two pops. So that's like my I'm not allowed to bring pop home rule, is I never go for refills because I don't want. Dude, now that I'm being very... I just got a sharp pain in my chest really quick.
Now, the ribs.
They haven't...
Let's go down wham, I'm so
can you call Weenie to come give you a little kiss?
She could go lower. It was just weird. I haven't had a sharp pain ever since like 2 weeks, and I just got one all of a sudden. Now,
wait,
go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Post-traumatic stress.
Punch by Prairie Artist Nails. A review. Prairie Artist Nails Punch, a sour ale with blackberry, cherry, and lime. That's it. All right, let's take a little sip.
That's what it sounds like when Jimmy drinks.
I'd give this wow. I'd probably give this a 4 out of 5.
My man just read the first 3 pages of Sorcerer's Stone and then decided to rate.
Huh?
Based on the first couple pages of this book, I'd give it a solid.
No, you gotta. I mean, I'm getting the notes of the, like the flavor of the beer and.
Why is it out of 5? Why is it not at a 10 scale?
Yeah, I rate beers on my app 1 out of 5.
Untapped.
So I'm just used to using that scale.
Oh, I just got a new straw, plastic one. If you're going to be a little baby back bitch about the straw, and I got a new straw, so that's good.
Aww,
hey,
see?
Man, I fucking love you. Did they happen to have this one in store as well?
No, I looked for that. They didn't have that. Oh, wait, for the audio listeners, what did you just hold up again?
I held up the Prairie Artisan Ales Slush Sour Ale with strawberry, raspberry, lemon, and lime. So all of those, when I took that picture in your Discord of those 4 packs, Those have been gone since last night, and I had to go restock they're so goddamn delicious.
I laughed so hard when I saw you stacked up with all those sour beers. I was like, that's my boy. I knew when you started on the sour journey that it was gonna take hold. I'm proud of you. I'm proud.
Now I just got to find that Warhead beer that somebody posted
that probably
in your
isn't
Discord.
that good, I bet. I think that's probably more of a gimmick. I mean, it's worth trying, but I bet you it's not gonna probably be as good as you hope.
Probably not, but I'll have to go for it. By the way, Bishop, speaking of funny words, I love the colorway that you are sporting in your webcam right now.
Yeah, the orange and what is that, magenta? What would you call that?
To me, it looks pink on my monitor, but this gaming monitor's colors suck big fat donkey ass.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Like my Asus monitor is absolute garbage when it comes to color. But my older monitors were
are those
like
the,
$200 and were great.
The newer panels?
Just one of them. So the red color is coming from a newer panel, and then the other one is just a LifeX bulb. But
Got it, okay.
The one that's lighting my face, I think, is a newer.
It looks great. See, oranges and reds are not something that I see too often. And so to see them both together, I call that scheme like the volcano colorway is what I call that, and I like it very much.
Yeah, BBR used to sport this color. They used to do like the orange. I think his shit was more orangey.
His
and then
was
it
more orange,
like
but it was like a similar type of aesthetic.
Yeah.
So
it's really hard to make any other colors because like purple doesn't come out good. Pink comes out okay, but as soon as you start getting into the purples and the dark blues, they just don't show up that great. At least on camera, unless you're playing with LUTs and stuff. So like, streamers are kind of limited in what colors they can have in their background. The LifeX tiles, they're good at doing any color, but as far as projecting color onto a surface, you don't really have the use of the full rainbow. Which kind of sucks, but hey, that's
like
science.
Light blues always show up white, or like light yellows always show up just white.
Yeah.
And LifeX panel, or not LifeX, what are they called? Leaf panels?
Aura leaves?
Yeah, nano leaves just show up white on camera. They're just this white. And if you turn them down, they're like flickery lines and shit. They're terrible. They're actual garbage.
That's why I love these, because right now these are at 2%, but I can almost see every color. Aquas don't really come up too well. Again, purple. You guys are only seeing purple because of the tint that I have on my camera, but
yeah.
Anywho, all right, you guys want to talk about some real shit? Oh wait, Bishop games. What games have you been playing to Bishop?
I made a little list. Whenever I'm on the podcast, I always forget games that I've been playing. Like the past podcast, I forgot completely that I played Banjo at all. Like
that's right. Yeah,
Banjo
you did play. I missed those streams. It sucks.
I've been playing a bunch of that. I've been playing a lot of like N64 games in the first week previous to the podcast. But recently I've been playing Rogue Company, which I know Knackers has been playing. It's a great quick little competitive shooter, just a fun game. Playing a lot of racing games. I played Dirt yesterday, which was kind of fun, just driving in the French Riviera. Just I've got a handbrake and a gearbox now, so that's pretty fun.
Nice.
So I'll probably stream some of that. DayZ, I've been playing a lot of DayZ. Summit started playing it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try again. Hadn't played it since like the Arma 2 days. And then on and off with like Casey or Bowie or different groups, I've been playing a little bit of Among Us. So that's been good.
Okay. Damn.
But yeah, that's my list of games. I feel like I don't play a lot of games, and then I'm like, holy fuck, I've been playing a lot of games.
Do you like playing that Among Us game? I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Okay, so Among Us is a simple and stupid game. Like playing the game itself, it's not a good game, but it's the people you play it with that make it interesting. So if you have a good group of people that you're playing with, anything can be fun, right? Just like a party. If you go to a party and there's a bunch of idiot, annoying morons that all that they care about is the environment and politics and jet skis, you're like, okay, those jet ski guys were kind of cool, but we ran out of talking points 5 minutes ago, and there's only morons left. So it's just like that with Among Us. Like if you have a bad group, you're going to have a bad time. But if you have a good group, you're going to have a pretty solid time. And what's crazy is I found a lot out about people that are a part of Casey's community and my community and how good some of them are at lying. And I'm like, motherfuckers.
Makes you think.
Yeah, maybe chat isn't all dentists and doctors and space astronauts and stuff. Like whenever they're experts in chat, maybe they're lying about that.
Maybe.
Never know.
Maybe.
Jimmy, did you ever? I know you were talking about Castlevania. Did you go over any other games that you'd been playing?
Oh, just Battletoads with my son, and then a little bit of Fall Guys.
Okay.
Yeah, if you were listening, Knackers.
Yeah, if you were listening to what I was saying.
Anyways,
that's all right.
I am now also drinking some Prairie Artisan Ale Punch, and I drank this slushy before, and they're goddamn delicious. What I found about sours too is I can drink a lot of them and not get completely fucked. I think
you know why? You know why?
Because they're sour and I can't drink them
fast.
Yeah. Yep. So like yesterday's stream, I think I had 9 beers throughout the night, but
you streamed for like 12 hours.
Yeah, but I didn't start drinking until like
but even
3
still, I mean,
p.m.
But you space it out. I basically my limit is 2 drinks an hour. If I go over 2 drinks an hour, I'm gonna be
slurring.
I'm gonna be starting slurring a little bit, but once you pass a certain threshold, like once you go past, like for me, it's about 6. If I get past 6 drinks,
you're gonna
doesn't matter. Then even if it's 2 an hour, it's not filtering it as good after that 5th or 6th one. You know.
But you got whiskey in there too, right?
I haven't been drinking whiskey lately because because the medication I'm on, they don't advise you drinking high alcohol so I don't drink. I've cut out the whiskey and I've just been gone back to beer. So.
Okay.
Do you guys have any sorts of alcohol like whiskey or like vodka or tequila? Any of those varieties of alcohol that just completely change the way that you act?
Yes,
like differently than other alcohol.
Yep,
tequila.
Tequila.
It turns me into what I can only refer to as Alpha Jimmy.
Yes.
Only few people have seen Alpha Jimmy, but it's out there.
There's only been, out of the past coming up on 4 years that Winnie and I have been dating, there's only been 2 times where we have gotten like so angry at each other, like a really, really bad. Well, I say a bad fight, but it was a drunk fight. So it was probably a fight that could have been avoided if we were sober, but shit just got multiplied by the alcohol, and it's been tequila both times that we've just gotten like so. You know the super stereotypical like drunk girl like that doesn't make sense. Crystalia, rest in peace, has a really hilarious skit about like how drunk girls talk and think, and the shit that they say like doesn't make sense. That's what tequila does to Weenie, like through and through, 100%. It's like you are talking with a child in an adult's body. But they're also a child, and they're not making any sense, and they'll grab shit from 5 years ago, like, oh, remember that one fucking time you left the orange peel on the kitchen counter? Yeah, I bet you don't fucking remember that. I'm gonna go, and I'm never gonna come back, but also can we go out and get breakfast in the morning? The fucking orange peel. Just completely belligerent. And yeah, again, both times tequila. So we still enjoy tequila very much, but not to that extent anymore. We really like... I guarantee if you were to ask Weenie right now if she's ever seen me drunk or wasted, she would probably say no. Like, I don't ever get to that level.
But there's usually I'm instigating you, and there's fireball shots also, so it's not entirely your fault.
Yeah, but it's always funny because like I never hear of you getting sick throughout the year, but then you come and party with us, and it's like you've got sick both times. Sick.
Yeah. Well, I overdo it because I'm having a good time, so you know.
Right. And yeah,
I'm like,
you're in another state. You don't got to fucking drive. You're hanging out with the homies. I don't have to worry
about. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my wife and son. I do. But when you've been married a while and you had a kid a while, and when you're away from your family, and you don't have to worry that your kid's sick in the middle of the night, or you've got to make breakfast or whatever. When you don't have those responsibilities, I think your inhibitions are lowered a little bit. And for me, my inhibitions being lowered means I'll drink more. So
nothing like your kid walking into you just puking on your own penis, shitting your brains out.
I hold myself back when my kid's around because I don't want them to see me all messed up, you know?
Right. But
when it's other adult friends like that I'm close with, I'll be like, I don't give a shit. They can see my ass. I don't care. You know?
Well, now we can kind of start jumping in. No, we can't, because I'm just going to go over what I've been playing as well. Rocket League. I've gotten a little bit back into Rocket League lately. I've been playing more often. I know Jimmy hates it, but
I don't hate it. I don't hate you playing Rocket League. I've never gotten into Rocket League.
Right. No, I got you.
That's all.
It's okay to hate Jimmy.
It's
I don't
okay
hate
to hate
Jimmy.
me.
No. It's okay for you to hate Rocket League. You hate Rocket
because it sounded like you just said it's okay to hate Jimmy.
Yeah, it's okay to hate, Jimmy.
That's fine too. Yeah,
Okay,
it depends who.
Comma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Comma.
All right. Good. Sorry. Rocket League. Go on.
It's all
I
good.
Don't care.
So, Rocket League is leaving Steam and is going over to the Epic Store, also going free to play. There's a brand new Season 1 and Rocket Pass that I will be buying when it comes out in a couple days. But I know most people don't care to watch me play Rocket League. However, I can stream Rocket League for 8 hours straight and not even fucking blink. Like, that is just a game that right now, and Rogue Company, I can just play unlimited amounts of time. The past couple Saturdays, I've had 10 plus hour streams. I just have so much fun. And chat, I love you, but I don't give a shit about any of you when I'm playing those two games because I'm just having so much fun. I'm not thinking about numbers. I'm not thinking about raids or subs or chat interaction, how slow it's going. None of that matters when I'm playing those two games. And
dude, if you're having fun and it's like, then that's what you should be doing.
Right.
That's totally fine.
So I'm trying to sprinkle a little of those streams in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
But when I'm only streaming 3 or twice a week, it's like it's fucking hard. But anyways, so new Rocket League seasons come out. The game performs well. It's gorgeous. You know, playing with Vans and 42, my homies. It's just we have endless amounts of fun, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and when you're playing with cool, and I know Vans and 42 are cool dudes, so I'm sure you guys always have a blast.
And that we do.
I also know Vans and 42, and I also think they're very cool. Just to put that.
Do you also?
I also know them as well, and they're great dudes.
Yeah. Now, I've never met Vans in real life, but I have met 42, and he is 100% solid Canadian steel.
Solid homies.
I don't know how solid Canadian steel is, but he is as solid as it is.
Jet fuel does not melt Canadian steel beams. Anyways, also been playing Rogue Company. We played that yesterday for about 6 hours, and we've had some great team composition playing that game, and I would say that we're winning more games that we're losing.
What game mode?
Oh, Strikeout. Yeah. I love Strikeout.
That's the bread and butter. I feel like Rogue Company, there's so many more games that do the whole bomb planting 2 sites, 3 channel thing. Yep. There's so many games that do it better that I think Strikeout is like the game mode in Rogue Company that is like specifically what it should be viewed. Like, if there's a competitive side of Rogue Company, it should be Strikeout. Yep. The other thing with I don't know if you get this with Rocket League, but Rogue Company, I feel it doesn't matter if I get like 50 fucking kills in a game, I'm never satisfied and I need to play one more. It's like one of those games that you never feel like, oh, that was an accomplishment. Let's I'll call it on that one. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we just won that one. One more. Just one more. I've lost a lot of days to that.
When I'm playing Rocket League and Rogue Company, I don't stop playing until my friends bow out. Like, I'm very rarely, at least I think, the person that goes, all right, I'm all done. Like, I'm waiting for you to quit for me to quit. And so definitely feel that way. Obviously, been playing Roblox. I got Weenie into Roblox. Now she's asking me to play it. She was playing while I was streaming yesterday. She won like 6 rounds in a row.
Wow.
God mode.
Dude, my son's pretty good at Roblox. I just want to tell you that.
What game mode of Roblox?
He plays like some like Arsenal
all of that.
And
that's what we play.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I'm kind of impressed watching him, like, sometimes because he's playing with his buddies, and he'll have his iPad next to him, and there's like 4 or 5 other little kids in a Zoom call, and he's there with his iPad with these dudes in a Zoom call, and they're playing freaking Arsenal on Roblox, and he's got his headset on, and it's hilarious, man. Like, he's so, I don't know. It sucks for my kid right now, and I didn't mean to hijack this, but I know you get the same sort of feeling. Just that it warms my heart to see him being able to be social playing games, because we can't be social doing a lot of other stuff right now with COVID. So it makes me excited to see him like that, and I'm happy you've been having fun too, man. That's multiplayer gaming. I've never really done a lot of online multiplayer gaming, very little. So most of my stuff's been couch co-op stuff.
Right.
So
Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously. I've also been playing Fall Guys. I got my second crown last week.
Ooh.
And then Winnie and I...
Dude, tell them about the first crown. When we were playing after the last podcast 2 weeks ago, we were all playing together as like a post-show thing because Monday we all had off because it was a Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
We were all pretty toasty. We're like, let's
win.
play some Fall Guys together.
Oh, yeah, dude, it was great.
I actually don't... Was it a hexagon that was the final?
No, it was a hexagon, and you were on the very bottom level, and there was like 6 other guys above you, and then all of a sudden they all started falling, and then it was a 1v1, and the guy was like 4 layers above you, and he tried diving down on top of you. He landed on the same hexagon that you were on, and then you jumped and dove while you were in the air, and he fell through the ground, and
Like,
it was
we were
no
both
way.
falling, and he happened to fall first. And that was Jimmy. Unfortunately, was up like getting a beer or something.
Yeah,
Bitch,
I came back. I was like, "What the hell happened? You got a crown?"
Good times.
Fun.
And then lastly, Weenie and I are currently playing through Borderlands 3, and I would say that we are 15 hours into it. And I don't want to sway anybody's expectations, but first part of the game was boring as fuck. Like, just so dry of any emotion or passion or story. And it's starting, like, that first area where you're driving everywhere. Fuck that. It's driving me insane. So I don't want to give too much away. It's starting to pick up a little bit. It's a Borderlands game. There's not too much that's different. The fact that Chris Hardwick is in the game just pisses me off even more. Like, just hearing his voice. And I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but there are times where I'm like walking around a base and there are NPCs that are talking to each other and you're hearing it through the echo. There's so many times where I'm like, holy shit, shut the fuck up. You guys there's these NPCs that are talking back and forth for like minutes at a time. And I'm trying to like go through my inventory and sell shit and look at guns and they're just talking. It's fucking Chris Hardwick just bumping his fucking gums. There's so much fucking dialogue to the point where it's exhausting. And maybe I'm just easily annoyed when it comes to dialogue. Because, like, in games, we're like, oh, cool, let me read every note that's in this bedroom. I'm like, too much reading. Fuck it. Too much talking. I don't give a shit.
I tried to play that game with a buddy a few months ago. And I probably made it I probably dropped about 10 hours into it. And it was I felt the exact same way you just did.
Yeah.
It's a game that's really more about the gameplay. It's basic improvements to the gameplay of Borderlands, but the story is compared to the previous ones, which weren't necessarily the greatest stories of all time, but they were entertaining. And the ones in the new one, I just did not find that entertaining. So I'm 100% with you on that. And I'm not hating on the franchise, but I was severely let down by Borderlands 3. I thought that was a game I was going to enjoy, and I just really couldn't get into it. So
I knew something was up when I didn't hear about the game after it came out. Like it was like another battle royale dropping. Nobody was fucking talking about it at all. And I know that like Twitch isn't everything that's happening in the world, right? Like what happens on Twitch isn't what happens in the rest of the world, but it's a little bit of an inkling of some sort of like, it's like, well, if it doesn't really do really well on Twitch, or if I don't see people talking about it on Twitter, there's probably a reason why. So I'm going to continue to playing it. We're having more fun now, and Winnie and I both really enjoy playing Borderlands together. So in that aspect, it's great. But as far as compared to the other games, kind of upsetting. But they can't all be good.
It could be an end game, like World of Warcraft. Like totally extremely boring for anyone to get into, but you get to the end game, you're like, oh, there's some cool like mini games and stuff you can do now.
Sure.
But I wonder if it's like that, because Casey and I played Borderlands 2 together. I think that was like the first game we ever streamed together, and we had a good time. And then we moved, so we didn't play anything for a while. And then we played Borderlands again, and we started from the beginning, and we kind of felt the same way. We were like, okay, we've already done this. The story, like Borderlands, without like the funny, quirky moments, is kind of just like, cute. It's like Risk of Rain for me. IMO. It's like cool gameplay, but like. Okay. I shot a couple fucking dog-looking things with weird spikes coming out of its back, and I think I'm good. And I killed a few bandits and got better loot, and I feel good now. Like, cool.
I feel like
All
this
right,
is
now
a conversation that we could carry on for literally the entire rest of the podcast, because this makes me think of like the whole question of, well, what is it we look for in games when we play games?
Yeah, and I don't know
what I
the
mean?
answer to that question anymore.
and honestly, there's a lot of things I look for when I play a game, and what makes what I would consider a game to be a good game or a bad game. And I think the problem is it's a very mediocre game.
Yeah,
It's not a good game. It's not a bad game. It's just
Okay.
It's like oatmeal. You know, you're eating oatmeal. It's oatmeal. No sugar, no cinnamon. It's just fucking oatmeal. You know, it'll get its job. It'll do its job, but you're not going to really take a whole lot of satisfaction out of it. That's kind of where
You're just
I
looking
feel.
for that scoop. If you're using like the package of
You're
oatmeal,
scooping it
you're
in.
looking for that
You're
scoop
seeing,
of sugar.
You're getting
Yeah.
closer to the bottom of the bowl. You're like,
Yeah.
the oatmeal's almost gone.
The amount of time-
I'm almost done with this oatmeal.
The amount of times that
just-
I've bought oatmeal and then it's just fucking rotted in the box.
We used to eat a lot when I was a kid. I don't eat it anymore, but when I was a kid, that was like all the time we had oatmeal.
There's just so many
Well,
better options.
Yeah, well, it was an easy thing. Like we had those little Quaker oatmeal packets. That you just
the
add
brown
the
ones
hot
with the-
water and you mix it in.
Oh.
That was like an easy breakfast, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, this is probably a good segue into like Among Us, right? Because we're talking about games that aren't really that interesting, right? Like not that interesting, but the people you play it with make it interesting.
Right.
And I saw on Stream Hatchet statistics that Among Us grew 600% in the past week, and it what was it? Fall Guys reduced in viewership by over 60% in the same period of time.
Wow.
And yeah, so Fall Guys was kind of killed by Among Us in a certain way on Twitch, as far as that's concerned. But like exactly what I was saying earlier, or to re-reference it, it's not a good game. It's not that interesting. Like you're doing little bullshit mini games over and over and over again. It's not really that interesting. What makes it interesting is like you playing with your friends, and then the dynamic that your friends are lying to, and you're trying to solve a puzzle, right? Or like solve a mystery. But it kind of like it begs to ask, like Among Us has been beating out like League of Legends, Fortnite, all these games that are like AAA titles that, you know, millions of man hours have gone into to produce. It is simple better when it comes to designing games.
right.
I have a super jaded outlook on Among Us. And I've admitted in the past, or admitted these past couple weeks, that Among Us has been ruined for me by Twitch. And I am somebody who has tried their hardest not to let Twitch influence what games I play and do not play, but more so not letting other like video game reviewers impact the decision that I make about a game. I'm sure Among Us is very fun, and I know that there are millions, literally millions of people that are playing it and having fun. There are two major issues that I have with Among Us. One, I can't stand screaming comms. Like when I'm watching a stream, if comms are nothing but people screaming over each other and yelling, and I get, it's like immediate. And I don't know if it's just like the mediocre audio file that's deep inside me that's like, oh my God, I'm so heavily influenced by the inbound audio that I just have to get out of it. So that's one major thing. The second major thing is I know it's a game, and that a lot of the banter that goes on, that happens during that game, is all for the game. And people shouldn't be, like, relationships shouldn't be ruined because of that. My mind is, there is such a high probability of creating a toxic environment playing that game. I would never want to be the person who was in a group that made somebody else feel shitty because of how that game went down. Whether they thought somebody was being mean, or, you know, somebody was like metagaming. Like, I just don't want to be in that situation. And I'm okay sacrificing the experience of Among Us. It's just like, it's like the... I don't really want to say that. It's just like there's such a high probability of shit going wrong that I'm less likely to touch it. And the same reason why I've never implemented sound effects in my stream, ever. Because, sure, when you're a smaller community, it's fine. But when things start to grow, sound effects do not scale. There's only so much time you're alive. There's only
Once
so
you get
much
past the 20 average, better get rid of them.
Yeah. So could I play it and have fun? Absolutely. Do I want to for at risk of just like getting angry? I just feel like that game has a high probability of shit going south. And I just don't one, the game doesn't interest me at all. So I'm just not going to play it just because everybody's having fun. But I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. That doesn't answer your question, but I wanted to give Jimmy a point to.
What was your question again?
Is simple better when it comes to gaming?
Sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed retro so much lately, because it's like there's something nice about playing a game where you only have so many buttons that do something. It simplifies things. It streamlines things. And having done both, I mean, I play it all time. I mean, these are games. Many of these games that I've been playing lately are games I played when I was younger. But there is something to be said about these retro games I've been playing, because I'm getting just as much enjoyment out of playing these games as I would like a modern game with it's just a different type of enjoyment, you know? But now, with that being said, I like platformers. If you didn't like platformers, you probably wouldn't like playing, because most, like 3/4 of retro games are like platforming games, you know? There's a bunch of them out there. Simple can be better.
I mean, Rocket League. Ball into goal over and over and over, and I fucking love it.
There's something to be said about a game that has a mechanic that is so relatively simple that anyone can kind of pick it up and go with it. And it's not going to work for everyone. Chat's talking about Minecraft. I never got into Minecraft. I don't understand Minecraft. Like, I've tried playing it. couldn't get it. And I was just like, okay, I'm not a Minecraft guy. And that's okay.
Same.
There's not going to be every big thing just like this thing. You're going to miss some things you may not get into. And I'm the same way. Like Among Us, I mean, I have no real desire. For me, right? You already know, like, how often do I play multiplayer anything?
Right.
So it's not really, hadn't been on my radar. People on my team have been playing it. They even did a team thing that I could have played with them, but I was just like, I would have bought the game to play it one time and never played it again, probably, you know?
Which is why playing Fall Guys with you, especially, Bishop, you know I love you.
But
being able to play a multiplayer game with you, because I know, like, are we best friends? Are we just friends? I would say we're best friends.
I think you hit a certain echelon. Once you pass a certain point, honestly, I think the moment we became best friends was when I puked in your yard and your dog ate the puke.
That's fair.
And Bishop, we became best friends when we got to hang out.
Bishop comes into frame
and share pizza and beer together in Portland.
That's true. Yeah. Knackers and I are not best friends, though.
This is true. We haven't met in person yet.
Yeah, we haven't bonded.
You'll get there.
Yeah, one day.
So
one day.
The best friend stamp comes when I get a crafted cocktail. That's like the seal of approval. Is when the girlfriend presents a craft cocktail. It's like getting knighted, but with cock. Tails.
Yep. Tails.
So I definitely, to answer your question, yes, I believe that in some cases, simple is better. Another case in point is Fall Guys. I mean, it's so simple in the fact that all you do is run, jump, or grab. Those are your three mechanics. That is it. The rest of it is RNG.
If you're playing with a party and the fact that you can spectate and just hang out in Discord or whatever, it makes it a very enjoyable game to play with friends. And
absolutely.
I'm sure it's a fun game to play alone, I guess, but I see that this is, for me at least, I even had time today to do stuff and play some games by myself, but I knew I couldn't play Fall Guys with anyone else, so I ended up just not playing. You know, I was like, I don't want to play by myself, you know?
Well, hey, if we all get fucked up enough after tonight's show.
Maybe we'll play
I don't have to work tomorrow, just saying.
The real question is, do you have a spare loaf of bread?
No.
True.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because for all of you people that are watching this live, maybe 10% in the audience are going to get the joke, but you guys are going to get the joke. But this is what we like to call a visual gag. So sadly, I can't show you this. If anyone wants to describe it, afterwards to the audio listeners, they're welcome to. But this is for you, Knackers. I did actually have something in case I needed to stay up and play video games later. I needed some form of sustenance.
And
Oh my god.
is that a grilled cheese? I can't tell. It's all blown
I'm
out.
surrounded in morons.
Is it
I'm literally
garlic
surrounded
bread? That is
with
smoked Gouda.
morons.
It's
a block of
Of
cheese.
It's a block of cheese.
Fuck!
My brother
love
left
Jimmy.
his smoked Gouda that he'd been cutting off of in the fridge when he stayed here this last week. And I looked in the fridge today. I was like, oh shit, there's some block of cheese in here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Block of
are you
fucking
are you a
cheese.
block of cheese eater now? Are you a believer?
Mm.
No, I'm not a believer. It's just there's no one else that's going to eat this cheese. So why should I bother cutting it? I can just take little bites out of it.
That's what I'm talking about. So are you
Has
saying
Wheatie
But I
ever
haven't
eaten
do
any
that
of your
in my
cheese?
house like a freaking caveman. My wife would shit on me, man.
But if it's your cheese, it's like having a birthday
That'd
cake.
just be weird.
Or
I mean, I would have to keep it separate from the regular fridge.
in a Ziploc
Yeah.
bag, maybe?
I'll put it in the beer fridge.
No, in a
I'll
different
I'll
fridge,
put it in a
different
little container and be like, here's my cheese. Here's my block of cheese.
Hey,
This isn't going to start trending. I just thought in this one instance, it would be entertaining. So
He supports you, but he's not with you. He's not going to stand with you, but he understands your
Exactly.
Okay.
situation.
You're
Exactly.
you either eat cheese off the block or you don't. There is no in between.
I don't mind eating it off the block.
Thank you.
Does
Ship it.
Weenie ever touch your block of cheese that you chew off of, like your tooth cheese?
Weenie, the only time Weenie goes into the fridge is if there's something that she can grab and eat immediately. Like if there's no ingredient touching ever.
So me. Okay.
Yeah,
Problem
yeah.
is, this cheese is like way too flavorful to eat that much at a time.
It is.
Yeah.
I just
It
got
is.
flavor blasted right now. Actually,
Well-
I need to
Yeah.
cleanse my palate with some more beer. I'll be right back.
There, go for
He's
it.
flavored out. flavored
Weenie does not cook. She doesn't. As far the fridge is my domain. Like as far as where things are organized, the layout, what things are edible and what are not. It's all me. Well, which is good.
How long does a block of cheese last you?
A month, easy. Cheese
So you're-
lasts a while.
Right. Imagine someone having leftover food in the fridge for a month that you're sharing the fridge with, and they're eating it slowly over a month. That's the weird part. I think I think I've just conceptualized why this is weird.
You don't
It's
have
not because you're biting the cheese, right? Because if I was living by myself and I had my own fridge, I wouldn't worry about like making myself a plate or doing anything cleanly at all.
Right.
I would just be I would pull out and maybe break it off. Maybe I'd bite it, but like a month of mouth fungus on your old milk rot.
But it's new mouth fungus each time. It's not like my first bite's fungus is still on the cheese by month end because I'm taking a bite every time.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So you're refreshing every bite that you take. You're refreshing the timer for your mouth fungus to touch the cheese.
Exactly.
Interesting. So how often do you bite the cheese?
It's only when I feel like it. I mean, it's not like an everyday thing.
But like time wise, do you do it like daily? Is it something that you do like once a week?
There'd be like every couple days where I'm scanning the fridge or
Okay.
something. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a pickle
like-
and take a big chunk of cheese.
So like leftover timer, it'd be like if you had a really long French fry and you're just you're biting the tip off. The rest of the French fry would remain untouched, right? And you're just biting off 2-day-old mouth cheese.
Here's the thing: French fries don't last weeks at a time, right? Like a French fry is good for 4 hours, maybe.
Right.
So, like, if you could make a different comparison to a different type of food,
What about if you had a water bottle in the fridge and you took one sip of it every 2 days for a month? What do you think that water bottle would look like?
water bottles are bad for long periods of time having water stored in them. So I would have to negate that, sir.
Yeah, that'd be like cholera waiting to happen.
Exactly. You don't want fucking meningitis in your water.
Yeah. True. I guess you're already eating a block of like moldy milk. So.
Right. It's already rotten. So you know what's a little bit more fungus, you know?
That's true. Okay, I see. I like I was thinking like you're accumulating a month of knacker mouth on your cheese but that's not what's happening. You're refreshing that. It's like a RAM. It's RAM.
Correct.
Right? It's RAM on your cheese. You're refreshing your mouth interaction every time that you take a bite because you're biting off the previous interaction that your mouth had with the cheese.
It's like a dry aged steak. The dry age happens around the outside and then is shaved off to get to the goodness on the inside.
Okay.
I know this is weird. I'm never going to get anybody to understand why I have a block of cheese in my fridge that I just take a bite of it every once in a while.
I think the weird part isn't necessarily that you have the block of cheese in your fridge. I think that the weird part comes down to you going to the store to replenish your supply of a block of cheese instead of just getting something else, right? Like, you get
that's
to the
not
end
the
of your
case.
month and the cheese is gone, right? Your cheese is gone, and you look at Weenie and you're like, babe, I really need to go to the store right now to get a new block of cheese. I think that's the weird thing. You don't replace your thing that you bite out of. Like, you don't get like. Say you go from cheese to maybe like a bag of chips for the next month. You have like an ongoing supply of this block of cheese that you eat from.
Yes and no, because when I'm going to the grocery store, I'm buying 3 to 4 cheeses at a time. Sharp cheddar, white cheddar, Dubliner, Parmesan, Pecorino Romano. So most of the time I get those cheeses. And so let's say you get one of the big sharp cheddar blocks. I'm breaking that in half. I'm shredding for one container, and then I have the block for nom noms.
Right.
So there's a lot of times where I'm just like going into the fridge, grabbing one of my plastic containers that has shredded cheese, and that's just
that
like
happens all the time. Yeah. That's a normal action. Okay.
All right. Now that Jimmy's back, tell him how awesome I am with my cheese eating. I'm going to pee, and then we'll get back to some talking points.
Yeah. Absolutely. There he goes.
Hey,
hold. I think we need to get him some help. The cheese is just great. The cheese situation, man. He goes to a store to replenish his block of cheese. It's like
I don't understand it. The only time I eat out of a block of cheese, if it's cheese that it's like almost out, and then I'm like, I'm just gonna finish. Like, if there's a little bit left of a block of cheddar, I'll finish it off. You know what I mean?
So let me put this into context. Imagine you're like, hey, this is a good block of cheese. I just had an extra block of cheese. No one else is going to eat this. I'm going to eat this by hand. Imagine after you're finished with that, you're like, maybe I go to the store and get myself another block of cheese to chew on. You know, like
it's just too much work, part. Man. Like
I know
it's just too much work. You gotta
eat chips, man.
Just I don't know, or learn how to use a cheese cutter.
Yeah.
That would probably be my suggestion.
What games from N64 while Knackers is gone? What games do you remember that you would go back and play? Because I think that they're on the cusp. I think they're all like 19 years old now, so they're on the cusp of being retro. So in the event that
dude, they're more than N64 is definitely retro.
Is it now? Because
it came out in '96.
It did. Oh, so that is to over 20.
The game
because I know
came out around
Banjo-Tooie,
like 99 or 2000.
I was playing I was playing or streaming Banjo in the retro category, Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah.
And someone came in and was like, hey, the game has to be 20 years old. And then I looked at the date and it was like 19 years, 6 months. And I was like, okay, dude.
Okay. There's not even a hard rule that it has to be 20 years old. So that's my general rule that I use. But that was just someone being a dick.
Yeah, I think he was mad. He was malding. Probably.
Yeah, I would say the ones that I remember that I really enjoyed, Blast Corps, which was a rare game, was a really good one.
Blast Corps
was good.
Did you ever play Mission Impossible?
I know. I never played that.
No, okay.
Perfect Dark was good. That was a fun shooter.
I wasn't allowed getting that
game.
One. It was too violent. My parents didn't let me.
Yeah, you didn't get to play Perfect Dark. Trying to think. Of course, Zelda 64, Ocarina of Time was a really good game. Some people would say Majora's Mask. I couldn't really get into that because of the time mechanic and everything, but, you know. Everybody knows about GoldenEye. You probably played that one.
Yep. My brother and I used to do the paintball mode and just shoot.
Yeah.
I think it's the first level where you drop into the bathroom from above and you kill the guy. And my brother and I would just go and I think in like you come down a set of stairs and there's a door you can open and there's a scientist in there, and we do paintball mode and just shoot him in the penis over and over and over again. And that was
it sounds wholesome. That, that sounds like a good time.
It was very wholesome. Yeah, it was traumatizing.
Good bonding moment.
I didn't even know it. Just blowing some junk, dude. You just got to blow it off. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think. Conker's Bad Fur Day was pretty fun. That one I would recommend. What else? You know, and then the classics like Cruisin' World, which you played in the arcade, or there was, I want to say, there's a few RPGs that are decent on 64. I think there was like a Ogre Tactics or something like that, or I don't know. I didn't really play any RPGs on 64. I played them more on PlayStation when I played RPGs. So
I was pretty surprised how many games were on N64 that I had never even ever seen. Like you know, I think nowadays it's a little different when we have Steam and shit. We can see every single game that's released, and we can see what our friends are playing. But in the region that I lived in, there was only like so many different types of games, and like the amount of N64 ROMs that actually existed, it was pretty crazy. Yeah. It makes me want to go back and play a few of the things that I missed out on.
Cheeseman's back. You ready to do some talking points?
Absolutely. Yes. So we kind of got onto Among Us a little bit, and I think for the most part, like, I'm glad that there's a game like that is able to take over. It's super it's super awesome to see a game so simple, and especially come from an indie company to just absolutely dominate. And I'm glad that everybody's having fun with it. Simple is definitely better in a lot of instances. I think Twitch and game evolution as a whole has spoiled us. I think we're always looking to be wowed. I think we're always looking to just be like, oh, we need to have the next best thing. It needs to be these graphics. It needs to have this game mode, and it needs to be able to do this for me. And then I think most of the time we're kind of let down. And we know that these developers are fucking grinding to try and put out a game that will last a week on Twitch. Like, I can't even imagine what it's like to work for a development company and to develop this game for hundreds and thousands of hours, and then for it to hit Twitch and like 3 of the top Twitch guys to be like, this game's shit, and then everybody to just write it off, and then they
play a mobile game afterwards.
Right, then it's just gone. Raid Shadow Legends coming in real hot. So I'm glad. I'm glad that and Fall Guys, Fall Guys as well. I don't think Devolver is necessarily an indie developer company. I think within the past couple of years, they've definitely mustered their way into mainstream. So yeah. But yeah, as far as the next topic that you have, Bishop, with Netflix and fear mongering, do you want to go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so I'll just kind of preface this with, so the new show on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. Casey and I watched it. It was recommended to us. We were like, oh, okay, we'll check it out. And it was kind of in the first 2 parts. We turned it off after a little while, but the first 2 parts were, first of all, just like how much tech companies own your information, and then the product that is you when you sign up to any platform, and then how they use that data to target you for marketing. To sell products, right? So creating a profile around you and then selling a product specific to you. And then the second part of it was more related to like the dilemma that is like the way people act, the outrage culture around like people freaking out about things that aren't necessarily that large or that don't really have the statistics to back them, but because they're right there in the moment, people hyper focus on them because it's related to what they're seeing, and what's being reflected back at them. And regardless of the show was interesting. It had some pretty straightforward points. I think we all know to a certain extent that like social platforms are using our information, like they're using it in sometimes ways that are unethical. I think that many people are aware of these things, and there's facts surrounding these things, and ultimately the development of a lot of these pieces of software, whether it be like Facebook's ad algorithm that collects information about you and then presents you ads specific to what you're searching. So if if you search for kayaking, or you join a kayaking group, now Facebook's going to feed you ads for kayaking related products, right? So while watching the show, Casey and I were both sitting there. Obviously, we're informed on technology and the world surrounding us, probably more than the average person. But what was really bothering us while we were watching this was just like the dramatization and like over exaggeration of like the how scary the technology takeover is, and how like, oh, your profile, they're cloning you and making you out to be like this person with all these desires. They know when you want to have sex, they know when when you're hungry and when you're searching for food, and they know the next thing that you're going to do, and they're going to turn you into like, there's so much fear mongering surrounding technology. And I guess my question that's leading to this is, obviously for you Knackers and Jimmy, is it something that's annoying to you when you understand these things to a certain extent, and then the way that they're being portrayed, through documentaries and through popular culture, I'll say, they try to spin it in a way where it's like this really scary thing. It's kind of like AI comes out, like artificial intelligence, and they're like, oh my God, AI is going to take over, and it's going to take over the world, and then you're going to be out of a job. And in reality, all of that it is like it learns what you want to type in a search box, so it can predict what you're going to search, so you don't have to type the whole thing, right? So yeah, that's we saw it. Casey and I were both like, oh my fucking God. We also don't really realize how much people don't know. Like the average person, I don't know how much they know about this stuff. But to me, it's just like, okay, this is a pretty straightforward presentation that could be made. And I feel like a lot of people take it out of context and make it extreme and make it dramatic, for the purpose of garnishing their attention for that short moment of time. So then they actually care about it, because if they just presented it as it is, people wouldn't give a shit, and they just move on to the next thing on their feed. So thoughts?
I think what needs to happen is somebody needs to come out with a documentary about how the data mining, and I say that loosely, but how like predictive search has maybe helped people. Because you are right. There's this massive movement that is all about like technology is the devil. All of the data that everybody is collecting is going to end up taking over the world. You know, I would wonder how many times that some sort of spyware, or, you know, when they're collecting data on your search, like how that's actually helped somebody sometimes, right? Because you think about like, okay, well, if there's no keyword logging, or there's no like algorithm that's kind of detecting what you're searching, how you're searching, in the area that you're searching, how shitty would Google searching be if there was no curation whatsoever, no algorithms? My guess is that it would be extremely shitty. Like if you just wanted to search like vacuum repair shops in my area, you're probably going to get
a middle-aged stream. This suck.
Yeah.
And it's like a commercial.
Master, right? So it's definitely a problem, because there are still people, like clients that we have at work, where you say, you know, well, it's probably a good idea, you know, for you to get some of your data in the cloud. And they go, oh, the cloud? No. I don't fuck with the cloud whatsoever. Like, I want my data on my servers at my office. I don't want it going anywhere else. And it's like, okay, but all of your competitors are going to the cloud, and you are going to be fucking out of business if you do not move. And I think that's a huge turning point for a lot of business owners, is they realize, I can't keep up. I don't wish to keep up. Therefore, I just need to throw in the towel, and the business is going to go elsewhere. So absolutely, I think it's a huge issue.
I just ordered 20-piece chicken nuggets and a French fry on my phone. So,
are you going to get any?
My man sponsors a podcast and then checks out for 10 minutes while he orders food.
You guys started talking, and when as soon as he said they know when you're hungry, I was like, man,
I'm hungry.
I'm kind of hungry right now. And I looked at the clock, and it's like 9:21. I'm like, I can still order McDonald's to my house.
What did it cost
with like
you?
Grubhub?
$25?
But I have like a coupon right now, so I have basically like free delivery. So
a what?
A coupon.
Coupon?
Bishop, say coupon.
Coupon.
A coupon.
Coupon or coupon?
Coupon.
It's coupon. It's definitely coupon.
Whatever.
There's no UE in that coupon.
There's no Q. There's no fucking
Well, I
Q
used
in
my
the word
coupon so that it didn't cost me an arm and a leg to order McDonald's some
just
chicken
an
nuggets.
Arm.
Yeah, just an arm.
Fair enough. So anyways, your thoughts on the topic?
I honestly think you're right. I think the truth is a lot of people like to blow things out of proportion, sensationalize things. The reality of the situation is, since the internet existed and when cookies even started, there's been data trackage by all types of companies. So the moment that you have to go to a website that uses cookies, they can use that to track you across other browsing patterns in history, and it's been going on forever. So you just got to be smart. I think if you're... I think that it's just a whole bunch. It's Netflix. It's a show. It's they're trying to sensationalize shit. That's the idea. So, but there's not a lot of there's a lot of people who take shit that they see like that at face value, and but you're right. That is annoying that they're sensationalized something that's really it's kind of been around. And what's the alternative at this point?
Right.
Can you give me how do we change this, and what are we going to do? Because
I don't want my search to be specific to me. I want to just see. I don't want them to know who I am because they're going to come in the aliens and the FBI is watching me.
Yeah,
they're going to come in the aliens.
The reality is, until the government comes down harder on these companies that do this, there's nothing that we can do about it.
Right.
If they are allowing them to buy and sell and trade data, because they spend millions of dollars on the campaigns of different politicians that allow them to do these sort of things. And I mean, it's like the rabbit hole goes pretty deep on this. I think.
Yeah.
It's more than just the surface of they're collecting data and so.
Yeah.
I think there's... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that Knackers is right here. I think that people, in most cases, whenever they want to fear something, or whenever someone's fear-mongering or over-sensationalizing or just trying to over-exaggerate any of these things, they tend to... I could go to any conspiracy theorist and that cares about this kind of thing, that thinks that they're being tracked. I mean, I've seen a bunch of TikToks that are related to, like, active surveillance, and people legitimately think that they're being followed by people, and they film them and think that those are people that are tracking them, and meanwhile it's like some old guy. But I could almost guarantee you that if I sat down with a conspiracy theorist or someone that is really passionate about these kind of things, I guarantee you they could tell me 10 bad things that social media, like just ads tracking, data tracking, any of those sort of things. They could tell you 10 bad things or 10 extreme results of it, but they probably couldn't tell you one thing that it has a positive take, or one thing that has positive repercussions on their life. Like they don't realize that they probably benefit from those things quite more often than they know, and they're hyper focused on like the one bad outcome of those things. And sure, I think it's good to like identify what the negatives are so you can prevent like Skynet from happening, right? But I think that people also need to realize that I mean, there is a risk of things happening where people can hijack certain social channels on Facebook and then push ads to people where they're only rebounding information that they care about. A good example of this is when all the BLM stuff was happening in Portland, where I live. Obviously, it was a big talking point. But if you went into a VPN and you change your location to anywhere else in the United States, it wasn't really that big of a topic, right? So you're getting a reflection of all of the information that you're seeing, and it's making you, it makes you feel like there's a lot more that's happening, but you're ultimately the platform is designed to reflect what you want back to you. So you're making decisions based on that.
Right.
But yeah, I think you're right. To go back to my point, I think you're right that people are over sensationalizing the negatives, and they don't really realize why those programs were developed to help you, right? And the benefits that come out of those things. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of pisses me off. But Knackers, I don't know if you had another point, but I would like to know if you have like any suggestions, because I know you're into tech and into locking down your passwords, and writing your passwords down on a piece of paper, that sort of thing. What would you say to people to help them educate themselves on if they were like hyper worried about data being tracked on them?
So I definitely want to state my stance. I don't think that we should all just give up our personal information for the sake of having a better life experience. Like, I'm sure if you were to go up to two people and say, hey, when you pull up to your driveway, would you like the garage door to open, your alarm to disarm, your bedroom lights to come on and the I don't know, music to start playing in the kitchen? Or would you like to have to get out of your car, open up your garage door manually, go in, turn on all of the lights? You know, if you were to give people like not necessarily quality of life choices, convenience of life. There's a lot of smart home shit that makes your life better. Like being able to say, hey, smartphone or smart home thing, turn on these lights, play this music, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying, hey, we should all just give up our personal information because it makes things easier in life. Like there's people that have lived millennia before us that have existed without all of these things. But what I will say is that there are certain things that are being made out to be malicious that aren't. There's some things that you're never going to be able to get away from. Browser tracking with keywords, what you search, where you search, like those things you're never going to be able to get away with, because if you want to search vacuum stores in my area, your browser has to know where you exist. And if you don't want that, if you don't want to have to re-enter in the same information over and over and over again, your browser caches a lot of that information so it can give it to you more accurately and more speedily, quickly, you know?
Readily.
There we go. So there is only going to be, today here in 2020, there's only going to be so much that you can do to like maintain your privacy. So let's just go off of like the things that everybody has. Social media. You can not have social media. You can't not have an email here in 2020. Every single human has an email unless you live in a country where it is not required. If you're in the United States and you're somebody who has a job, you're most likely 99% going to have an email. Cell phone. I would say 9.9% of people in the United States out of 10 have a cell phone. And not necessarily because it's
Why
a
would you say 9.9% out of 10?
I like chopping people into pieces. What can I say?
Why wouldn't you just say 99 out of 100?
I like imagining people in pieces. Would you like to say it again?
9 pieces out of 10, Jimmy.
Disturbing. God.
9.9 pieces, brother.
Disturbing.
So as far as what you can do to maintain your privacy, there's a lot, but not a lot that's not going to completely curb the rest of your life. Like, you can not have an email, you can not have internet, you can not have social media, you can not have a cell phone, but those are things that are just like not having a cell phone now is like not having a house phone in 1990. Like, you are just cutting yourself off from the world. And sure, your privacy will survive, but your convenience and quality of life is going to seriously take a massive, massive hit. There's just certain requirements. I mean, it's the same reason why parents feel like their kids need to have a cell phone, because like, no, I need to be able to get in contact. I need to know where you are.
It's like the difference between going to a restaurant and getting food really quickly or going out into the forest and hunting a deer for 7 hours and hoping that you catch something.
Yes.
Yeah. You're putting yourself you're not putting yourself at a disadvantage, but you're competing with people that are light years ahead of you in the advantage, right? Like if I'm a YouTuber and Knackers is a YouTuber and we're doing stuff on tech, and I order something on Amazon and I can get it there in 2 days, and then Knackers is like, oh, hey, I'm going to drive to Best Buy, or I'm going to order. I don't even know how you would fucking order something if you didn't do it on the internet. Like you call it in, you call Sears maybe.
Sears?
Yeah, you drive to a store, obviously, but yeah, I mean, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. But it's, I guess, with that being said, like what are some things that you do, or like how can you conceptualize like the agreements that you're making with the companies? Like, what? Because no one's going to sit there and read it. I hear the argument a lot that is, oh, well, it's in the end user agreement. Well, that's all written in the end user agreement. No one reads end user agreements, and it's like they're not trying to do things that are malicious, but how can you understand what they are doing so you are smart enough to not allow them to like take advantage of your information? If that makes sense.
Yeah, and there just gets to a point where we've progressed so far that going in the opposite direction is only going to make your life, a living hell. So I don't think I can recommend, if you don't want your information taken, you have to not have internet, not have a cell phone, not have any social media. That's just the end of it. If you have a cell phone, you're getting tracked by your provider, whether it's calls, text messages, internet bandwidth usage, location, that's all out the window. Social media, if you have a Facebook, if you have an Instagram, if you have a Twitter, your location's being tracked, who you interact is being tracked. The content in which is being served, like if you call somebody, whether or not your phone call is being recorded, kind of up in the air at this point. Probably is. So there are things that you can do to protect yourself from malicious intrusions, hackers and people that are after that. But I don't know if that's the same question that you're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we could do an entire 6-episode podcast on this subject and like things that you could do. I think you boil it down to the most simple thing. Literally just stay off of the internet because there's so many other options. I honestly think that people, instead of getting, I guess my answer to that would be, instead of fearing or freaking out whenever there's a new Twitter post about, Facebook stealing your information and creating a profile about you, or a TV show on Netflix that tells you that, the world is stealing your information and you're just a pawn to buy products. I think if you understand the technology, like just look into the companies that are doing these sort of things and not just like freak out when you hear about them, and understand why they're building the technology, why it's important, it makes it less of a burden for you when you're expecting the result instead of you just being blindsided and then being persuaded into thinking a certain way. Because that was my biggest problem with the Netflix show, is literally it's like dramatic music and like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. This is the biggest breach of information in human history. This is like the worst thing. They're cutting between different speakers. Like many people don't know this is happening to them. And it's kind of like, it's like going on to like some news journal bullshit website, and it's like, this is the thing that doctors don't want you to know about. It's like, it's not that extreme. Like, we've known about green tea for decades, or like for hundreds of years, right? Like, this unknown thing will make you lose 1,000 pounds, and all it is a sugar pill with green tea extract inside. It's like, it's not really that crazy.
I have a little bit of a controversial take on this as well, and this might be ignorant of me. I feel that most people are super protective of their metadata when it really has no impact on their life. I kind of feel like people with their metadata is like the kid who sees their sibling with the toy. It's like, they didn't want the toy in the first place, but once they found out that somebody else had the toy, it was like, oh, it's this big thing. If we were to take all of the personal information that people were collecting, like our age, our race, where we shop, how much of that actually makes it full circle and has a direct impact on your life? Mm-hmm. Probably not a lot of it. I'm not trying to say that we should all just give up all of our information whatsoever, but I do feel like most people, without understanding what data is actually being taken and sold, I'm treading lightly. I'm treading lightly on that. No,
I understand what you're saying. I think that the people that are most extreme surrounding these things, like if are people that your data really is insignificant, right? That's another piece of it. I know that wasn't what you were making out, but like I'll take the burden of that one. And people that are most passionate about this kind of shit, like no one really gives a fuck that your fetish is holes in a fucking massage table, right? Like that information is irrelevant. You work at fucking Sears, right? Like that information is completely irrelevant, right? And maybe if you run for office in 10 years from now, I know that the world is getting crazy where like shit's pulled up from your past constantly, and that's the scary part of it, or a big scary part of it. But like in reality, the information that's collected on you is really not that detrimental, and it's not like one big thing in the show that they were trying to illustrate is like, they know what you're going to do next. They know what actions you're going to take next. And it's like, yeah, on the platform, but with every single AI, the thing that people need to understand, and there's always these stories about like, AIs are defeating players at video games. There's like, they found a new best way to defeat players. And it's like, with any sort of AI, it is predicted by the programmer what the outcome is going to be, and the AI finds the best way to get to that outcome. The outcome is predetermined. But what people illustrate in the what they put out there in the world is that AI is just like learning, and they're defining what makes them successful. But that's not how AI works. And people freak out and they're like, "Oh well, if AI finds the most straightforward line to get to their result, it's going to put me out of a job." And it's like, well, in most cases, that's a predetermined notion by a person. And AI can't exceed how smart individuals are if they're programmed by individuals.
Exactly. And how many jobs has technology given as opposed to how many? It's like, okay, your favorite cashier was replaced by an automatic belt at Meijer.
We're all Twitch streamers now.
Yeah, let's go. This is the new way. All right, so as a final topic, because this is something that I really wanted to touch on and get your guys' opinion on, we had the mid-roll ad apocalypse that happened here on Twitch.tv. And for those any unaware, right now, or I guess not anymore because Twitch pulled it, there was something that Twitch was testing called a mid-roll ad, to where out of your control, Twitch would force an advertisement in the middle of your stream. So at any time, Twitch could just say, all right, this channel is running an ad now. Your Twitch stream would go to the corner, picture in picture, and then the ad would pop up and play. The stream would be muted, and the ad would have sound. I've seen some people say that they have had 5, 6, 7, 8 advertisements in a row. And I've had this happen to me too. There's been times where I've been watching Shroud or Dr. Disrespect. It's only happened to big streamers. Literally watched 5 or 6 ads back to back. And these are 30-second ads. These are not the 5-10-second skippable ads that you see on YouTube. And I'm like, holy shit, these are back to back. This is insane. So did any of you get mid-roll ads in your viewing experience in the past week or so?
But I did not go to any channels that I wasn't already a subscriber to. So,
and that's something that I always forget about.
I 90% of the time I watch Twitch, it's usually to a channel I'm already subscribed to. So I generally don't see a lot of ads, but I saw some media about it, and I saw some recordings of like live streams of when it happened that was going around, and it was shitty. Like there was this one guy that was this one streamer, I think where I really noticed it was he was watching like this, I think it was the Sony presentation. Like the Sony gave that presentation last week for the PS5 reveal and like gameplay, right? And as they were just getting into like the Demon Souls, or I don't remember what it was something, it was some big reveal. Maybe it was Miles Morales or something. All of a sudden, the stream that he was watching and pulling like the thing like went small in the corner, and they were running one of those, just an advertisement for like the fucking Travis Scott burger for Burger King or whatever that shit was. And I was like, oh man. And the streamer, it was hilarious because he was like, it was kind of like one of those moments like, am I getting punked right now? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a terrible decision to roll ads on a fucking
ad
on the Sony channel while they're doing their advertise. I mean, it's just dumb. Like it's just, they got to figure out a better way to do it. It didn't really affect me. It didn't affect me, but they got to come up, because obviously we know that they want to pull in more revenue from advertisements, and I get that. But they, as a response, I don't know if you were going with this, what Twitch has done.
Yeah, go for it.
They basically, for streamers, they put out this new thing in your toolbar now that's like ad management, but only certain partners have access to it right now. No one else does. So we don't really know what ad management looks like. But there's a new in the little bar on the dashboard, the streamer dashboard. There's a thing in there where you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What I'm just gonna do is, I really don't know when ads. I don't know what's worse, having a mid-roll ad or having a pre-roll ad. I don't know what the solution is, honestly. I really don't. So I don't know what to say except ads are not going away, and I know that there's ways you can avoid them on PC, especially with uBlock or different ad blockers. But eventually, there's going to be a reckoning when it comes to ads in Twitch.tv, and I'm guessing they're trying to maybe get more people to buy Twitch Turbo, which I don't know. The fact that they took that, I still am salty over them taking away ad-free viewing with Twitch Prime, you know?
I agree.
I think what the reality of the situation is like everyone and their mom has fucking, well, Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime. Everyone and their mom has Amazon Prime, so, you know?
I think once that came out, they were like, oh, if we include these Twitch perks, more people will sign up with Amazon Prime. I think what they learned was that all of the people just already had Prime, and then they were just getting that ad-free viewing experience for free. And like, not many people are actually signing up for Amazon Prime anymore. Well, what if we change it to Prime Gaming? All right.
What we should do every time that after we're done presenting a topic is that you should run an ad on this channel, so then anyone that is watching has to watch an ad, and then they get back and we're presenting the next topic.
Right.
That'd be perfect.
But take a break from the content to allow for the ad.
No. We talk while no one's watching, and then they're just hearing topics. They're not actually hearing us talk about the topics. And then they're like, fuck Twitch. And then we start, what is it? Brime? Yeah, we're going to go to Brime.
Brime.
Yeah.
Brime. There we go.
Didn't that just Brime, disappear?
No.
Is that still going?
Brime.
Is that still going?
After Doc got banned, they were they got a bunch of PR, obviously, because people thought that Shroud.
I was following it for a little while until I realized that it was probably just some people scamming.
Yeah. And that obviously, I think they're launching their platform at some point. I have to go and double check, but I think that they're letting in affiliates or something like that. But
interesting.
I have Twitch Turbo, and I've been paying for it for maybe like 3, 4, 5 months. And honestly, like I haven't seen an ad in a really long time. So for me, like the $10 a month, it's worth it because I watch a lot of channels. Sometimes I watch some of the bigger guys. Sometimes I just watch whoever. Like,
and it's way cheaper to buy that than to buy a sub for every channel you want to watch.
100%. Right.
So I think it makes sense if you're a user like yourself, you know?
Right. I think for most people, what will end up happening if they were going to keep running the ads. At first, when they presented it, I didn't know that it was a test, but I know that afterwards they're like, hey, we're finished conducting our test after everyone was shitting on them. They're like, oh, yeah, don't worry, just tested here, guys. Don't worry, it wasn't a real thing that we spent 5,000 hours of manpower and spent millions of dollars.
How fucked up has Twitch been lately, dude? Between that and then the Hispanic like appreciation month gaff with the emotes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like that came out. Did you see like they sent that tweet out like a week or so ago? It was a week or two ago, and they're like, "Oh, to celebrate Hispanic Appreciation Month, we have these emotes." And it was like the fucking sombrero, like some maracas, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, this is so tone deaf," you know?
Yeah, I think that Twitch. I did a tweet poll or a Twitter poll. This is showing how out of touch I am calling it a tweet poll. I did a Twitter poll a few months ago, and I said I asked something like, do you think Twitter or Twitch's Twitter represents their user base? And it was overwhelmingly no. Like I don't think that there was a single yes vote. And I think in general, like previous to Ninja moving to Mixer, that was when shit started going negative with Twitch. And I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know if they're spending more time on like PR and like trying to make it more of a corporate company or like a Silicon Valley company where it's all this great butterflies and rainbows type of environment for people there. But they haven't really rolled out that much good shit in a really long time. It seems like they need to evaluate their ad team, because you'd think with the amount of engagement that Twitch has compared to any other platform on the fucking face of the earth, they could figure out how to advertise. The problem that they're having, I think, is that they are not creating the ad environment. They are reacting to the ecosystem that advertisers are used to.
Chicken nuggets and fries.
Are they there?
They're going to be here in like 10 minutes.
McDonald's, eat fresh.
I just want you to know.
Also, is this episode also sponsored by McDonald's? McDonald's and Middle Age Stream.
Hey, I have had nuggets and fries on stream before.
You have.
This is gonna be like a crossover, like the Travis Scott thing. It's middle-aged stream jorts with
Did you get the
fucking
spicy
McDonald's
nuggets?
logos.
No, I just got the regular ones.
Spicy nuggets are fucking spicy.
Are they?
Oh my god!
No, I haven't had
My
them yet.
poor anus. Jesus
Really?
Christ. I
Yeah,
did
it's probably
not
good I
feel
got
good.
the regular ones because I got 20 and I'll probably eat them all.
Oh my god. Winnie and I split a 20 and we didn't even get through the entire thing.
Maybe I won't, but there's a good chance I will.
Fair enough.
Chat order. What did you order from? What was the app? Was it Postmates?
Hubgrub?
Grubhub?
Okay, this is brought to you by McDonald's and Grubhub. Order now, chat.
My
Get your
man.
chicky nuggies, dude.
Cheeky nuggies.
Yeah. What? One other thing, or just to complete my point. I believe that Twitch is reacting to what the advertisers want. One thing that points towards this is the fact that VODs now have views, accumulative views. So it's similar to what you see on YouTube. So if you look at anyone's YouTube or anyone's VODs on Twitch, now it's represented by views across all live viewers, all chat viewers, all post viewers. So it looks more like YouTube. So the views aren't like 5 views on like a big channel for their VODs.
Yo,
And they're
I'm sorry
reacting
to interrupt,
to-
but that freaked me out the other day because I pulled up. I thought I'd gotten like bought
You
it
blew
or
up.
something. I pulled up my thing and it said like 1,000 views. I was like, 1,000
Holy
views?
fuck, dude.
What the hell? I
Yeah.
just streamed yesterday. Am I getting botted?
Yeah.
Like, is someone view
This is
botting my
incredible.
bots?
This is incredible.
But I think that
then I realized what it was.
Twitch is trying to appeal to the product that advertisers are already used to with YouTube and other platforms. They're like, oh, well, how many views do you get? And I don't think that advertisers realize what a concurrent viewer is, and they don't realize how much engagement Twitch is able to produce. Like if XQC on a stream that he had 50,000 viewers, if he posted his merch or something to buy, I guarantee you that he could do $50,000 in profit in a second, like in this snap of a finger.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that Twitch has to lead the way where they're reacting to what advertisers want. Where I think if they proved what they were capable of like mid-roll ads are fucking stupid. Pre-roll ads are stupid. If they integrated some sort of, I mean, we're sending our content to their encoders on their side, or their decoders and encoders, whatever the fuck they have on their
You
stack.
know, I don't want to brag. I don't know who this XQC guy is. This some streamer, some big time streamer.
French
but
Canadian
I
guy,
opened my merch store yesterday, and I made about $30 profit
$30
last night. $30.
There you go, baby.
So
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm kind of living the dream. Like I have enough revenue off of my merch right now that I can actually just get a free hat
Or
You know?
one Grubhub order to McDonald's.
or one
Yeah,
Grubhub
exactly.
order to my house.
One McDonald's chicken nuggets, $30, dude. But yeah, they just need to prove that they are capable. Like Twitch is capable as a platform to create wealth for an advertiser, and if they can prove that and show it to an advertiser, they're going to do well. I feel like they're reacting too much. They're looking at YouTube and like, hey, how we can become more like them? How can we compete? Because advertisers want to pay per click and pay per view, but in reality, Twitch is an engagement platform and not a view platform. And I feel like they really need to work on like embedding ads into the stream without it being something that takes over the entire experience. Like something could pop up underneath where we're at right now and be like chicken nuggets embedded in the stream, so people can't block it, they can't skip it. There's so many things that they could do that would be a positive and would be easy to integrate, but I feel like they're on the back foot constantly, and I feel like that's kind of hurting their whatever they roll out, and that's why they're getting so much grief for pretty much everything they've done for the past 2 years.
Twitch needs to scalp the Wendy's Twitter account social media manager and find somebody who is actually in tune with what the fuck is going on in everyday life.
Yeah, because there's no way you could have. And that was a decision that wasn't necessarily made by the social media manager. How tone deaf you got to be with those stupid emotes too, man? Like,
Yeah.
holy moly! Like,
Yep.
this is how you're gonna celebrate. It's like
It's crazy. It's crazy to us, right? Because we're in it. But when I think about a Twitch boardroom with like 20 or 30 people, right? And then Stanley raises his hand and goes, "Hey, let's come out with some specific Hispanic emotes. We'll find a dude with like maracas and somebody with a sombrero. Maybe we can have like a nacho with cheese. Like, you know, that nacho hat that Homer Simpson wore that one episode, maybe one of those. And then everybody just go, yeah, Stanley, I think you're onto something. Like, holy fuck. How are there 30 of you sitting in a room that agreed with this? But that also makes me think that Stanley's John Wick. He works alone. What he says goes. Doesn't answer to anybody, because it kind of seems like a lot of Twitch is so compartmentalized, where it's like what happens in one part does not see the light of day in another part. Nobody communicates with each other. It sounds like every other workplace, if I'm being honest.
There's one old guy pulling the trigger, and regardless of what those 30 people say at the table, he's like, hey, so the emotes all these kids are really loving, you know what we should do is have specific ones. And they're like, maybe that's not a good idea. And he's like, oh, I really like that John Wick guy's idea. He had some really cool emote ideas. Yeah, let's get maracas and a sombrero, and then I need them by tomorrow. So put that together, and then no one's able to contact. Like, that's how big businesses work. It's just one dumbass at the helm that's making decisions for a bunch of other, maybe some of them are dumbasses, but usually they probably think like, oh, maybe the user doesn't want this, but they're like, well, this would be really good because I can tell my upper ups that we're doing a really good job here at Twitch with our ad platform, and we're matching what YouTube is doing. Because I guarantee you there's someone at Twitch that's up top overseeing the ad platform, and they're like, hey, we really need to compete with YouTube here. YouTube's our real competition here. Like, we gotta like, look just like them. You can't even
compare YouTube and Twitch. You can't.
No,
you can't. Yeah. They're apples and oranges. The only thing that they do similarly is they do both offer a live streaming platform. However, they're not the same. They are not the same, and YouTube has a much larger reach than Twitch does. So to try and even think that you can compete with YouTube in that sense is just ludicrous to begin with, you know?
It makes me upset because when I think about what Twitch has done to my personal life, like in all of these years that I've been here, right? And then to know that name also, God, they've just done so much stupid fucking shit lately. And I'm trying not to be a sourpuss of like, well, I've been here for 6 years and I've known all of the things that they've done. And things aren't as good as they used to be. We used to have the wild. I'm trying not to be that way. But every other month, they are doing something so fucking brain dead and stupid. And they're not these massive, super 200 IQ business moves that none of us can understand because we're just not at that level. It's increasingly tone deaf, cultural, stupid fucking mistakes that they are making over and over and over again. And I can't really speak on advertisement and marketing and how everything works in the real world. I don't understand any of that shit. But when we can figure this stuff out if we try. We can figure out how to make ads work for us that aren't a massive, massive interrupter to live content. Like, there is no other live content that sports randomized advertisements that just break up the live content. It doesn't happen on fucking TV. It doesn't happen anywhere else. So why the fuck would it work here? It makes no sense. So in the same way that Twitch really needs an actual council to listen to on the cultural side of things, I think there is a massive need for a way. And I've already seen. Hold on, go for it. I've already seen.
No, no.
Oh,
I was just listening to my council.
Oh, the council
That's
of
your
councils.
council. That's a handheld. It's like a page.
It's a console. It's a Nintendo Switch. Whatever.
But I used the right counsel in that aspect.
I was making a joke about you. Whatever.
Isn't that a mobile phone?
It was a good joke.
That's not a console, Jimmy, you moron. That's a fucking mobile, dude.
It's a console.
It's a portable gaming device. So yeah, it sucks because you want to be able to criticize a platform that you're on. You don't want to be a user that sits there with your rose-tinted glasses and loves absolutely everything they do. And maybe it is a product of our current circumstances, but I do feel like holy shit, Twitch, just what are you doing lately? And it seems like they're lacking, and again, we could have an entire episode on this. It seems like they're lacking so many core fundamental things. Like just in the way that their website works, like functionality wise, how they do cataloging, the way that they've changed what your profile looks like. Like I was actually just thinking about this other day because I was thinking about putting out a website. When you go to twitch.tv/your username, you see the main profile, and then there's the bio, and then underneath it's your past broadcasts. And then under it is the people that you might recommend. I don't know how it fills that list, whether it's the people that are on your auto host list, people that are on your team. But all that somebody will see when they go is a random thumbnail taken from throughout the stream. I don't even think it shows the date of when that stream was taken. It shows the length of it. And then none of your highlights show on the default page. And that's it. And not only that, but in the title of your past broadcast, I think the last time that I checked it, you get 33 characters before your title is cut off by the website. So when you're thinking about titling your stream, you got to think, okay, I've got around 30 characters to get something in to grab that person. And it's not anybody better on YouTube, but it was just something that I kind of noticed at the time. The homepage for a user fucking sucks. It tells you absolutely nothing. We had this massive issue with the people that were having the trailers, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I think it was the people that were using trailers on their page. The trailer was playing when you got to the page instead of the live content. So when you were going to a channel for the first time, their trailer was playing instead of the live content when they were live. It's like, that's not really good either. So I think a lot of people have gotten away from it. So yeah, there's been a lot of decisions like that have just been like, the user base is just absolutely up in arms. And unfortunately, lately, I've been on the side of the user base. Has been like a major sourpuss.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what they have to do. I think it also, not to be ironic, but I think it also plays back to like what we were talking about previously. Oh, chicken nuggies are here. Jimmy heads out the door. He's gonna grab the doorknob and get those chicken nuggies. $30 merch paid for those.
Let's go.
I think that we also are doing what we were complaining about, where we're seeing all the negatives and we're not really seeing the positives that they're doing. I think that there's been a lot that they have done that it has been positive, but I think when you're looking at great companies in the past, like you don't look at Microsoft tablets and you're like, wow, those are fucking game changing. Like those are so amazing that every feature is like a new thing that no one's ever seen before. Like Apple came out with the iPad and people shit themselves, and then Microsoft is Twitch. Like they're like, oh my God, they have tablets. We need to cut down. We need to stop everything that we're doing and come out with a Surface Plus with a new UI and all this shit. It's like, quit fucking following Twitch and lead, because you have something that isn't like, there's reasons that people are on Twitch and not on YouTube. There's reasons that you pulled so many people off of YouTube to watch live content. And there's a reason that you are dominating in the live space. It doesn't have anything to do with you copying anyone else, right? The reasons that people are here are not things that you're copying from other places. Just lead. Find a new way to integrate ads. Pick the top 10 games. Fortnite, the UI is very predictable and simple. Have ad integration within the UI. Maybe a fucking set of French fries pop up out of your map, so it's not distracting to the gameplay. It's not completely removing the gameplay, but all of a sudden the UI elements in the game are advertisement spaces. Like, you have 10 games that have a majority of the viewership, just do it on those. And then the rest of the games, fuck it. People can stream retro games or, Minecraft or whatever other small, well, Minecraft's not a small game, but these other small games and hire someone to fucking develop an overlay or integrated ads within those games. And then use triggers within those games. Like if you get a kill, maybe the headshot's presented by Reese's Pieces, right? Or like a chicken dinner is brought to you by KFC. Those ad integrations would be huge, but instead they're stupid. Their ad system is stupid, and they're making mistakes that I just like. It's dumb. It's like, you guys could make so much fucking money, but you don't have any fresh ideas, and you're doing things on the back foot because you want to copycat things that already exist. And it's like, just do better.
So I got to clear something up because I have heard so many people lately be like, well, if you don't want ads, just use uBlock or some other Chrome extension. I am 9.9 out of 10 sure. Sorry, Jim.
9.9, yep.
I'm 99% sure that Twitch uses a ad streaming system that's baked into the live stream and that those don't work anymore. Can anybody confirm or deny? Because I still see ads on computers that I don't have, or the computers that I do have those ad blocking systems on. Actually, Twitch has an entire blog post about this specific ad system that they use where it bakes the advertisement into the stream itself so that those specific don't work, those specific advertisements. So do you guys use those and do you still get ads? Because again, I know Jimmy doesn't watch anybody that he's not really sub to, but I feel like I still see ads a lot, and I have uBlock on all of the computers that I watch Twitch on.
Yeah, it goes. I have Turbo, so I don't see those things now. I know that I have ad blocker, so when I was watching Twitch, I was still getting ads. But again, this is old technology. Embedded advertisements have been a thing. Like cutting to an ad break have been a thing since TV became a thing. Like swapping off of a stream has been a thing since like 2005 when live streaming first became a thing. So it's like, it goes right back to my point. Quit doing the exact same shit everyone does just because you think it works, and find more engaging. Like Wendy's is a great example on Twitter. Look at their Twitch channel. They play Fortnite and it's just a fucking, I think they have like a set of burgers and fries on the screen. Like that's perfect. Like integrate with the overlay so it's not super distracting. And create an ad experience that's different and good. Because it's not like there are a billion games on Twitch, but realistically there's 20 massive games that people play, right? There's 20 games that have a majority of the ad space. And the rest of the games, the rest of the small streamers aren't really that marketable at the end of the day. Like someone with 10 viewers, like they're not going to make any money off of that ad play. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
Would either of you be okay? So let's say you're watching a stream full screen and an advertisement comes up. Would you be okay with the screen splitting down the middle, the stream you're watching being on the left, and an advertisement being on the right? Let's say there's 30 seconds of an unskippable, inaudible advertisement. So it's probably just a GIF where it's like, this is the product that we're selling. This is when it's coming out. Would you guys be okay with that?
Yeah. I think if the user or the streamer could choose what quadrant their camera is in, right? You could even overlay some of the content, but that would have to be like predetermined, right?
So let's say
yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. So let's say the power is put into the streamer's hands, and I personally, this is how I think. Let me, as a streamer, have the choice to run the ads. If I don't run 2 minutes worth of ads within the first 2 hours, it forces an ad at the 2 hour mark. So you're getting that whatever, but I guess some people just go, oh, I'm stopping the stream at 1:59 and then I'm just starting it back up again. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they have a way that they can detect that, and streams and ads are just going to nail your stream right at the beginning. But I feel like if you gave the people the power and then said, but if you don't follow through, we're going to do it anyways, it would be way more received. And the people who actually stop their stream at the hour and 59 mark is not anybody that is going to be making Twitch any money, because people who stream and who are knowledgeable know that breaking your stream up into pieces is one of the worst things that you can do for viewer retention, for longevity, for chat interaction, and nobody in their right mind is going to do that.
Cox forced me to do that when my network would drop out every 2 hours.
Right.
Cox, yeah, that was great.
Has there been anything that you guys have seen on social media, like people that have suggested different ad strategies that you've been like, yes, that is absolutely what I would like? Is there anything that's been kind of sparked your interest?
Harris Heller said something. I remember reading it and I was like, hey, that's a great idea, but I forgot what it was. So if you give me a second, I can go back and see if it's still there.
Well, I don't know. Jimmy's social media isn't necessarily within the bubble.
I would say,
yeah, his entire stream is old ads.
Yeah, I would say I would say no. I haven't seen anything. I've seen people complain about it, but I haven't seen any like solutions. You know.
I know Co Carnage had some good shit as well. Let me see if I can pull his up. Usually I'm more prepared for a podcast like this.
We'll allow it.
Tell us about your McDonald's in the meantime, there, Jimmy.
Dude, these chicken nuggets are freaking sublime right now.
What sauce do you have there?
Oh, barbecue, of course.
Is that the sweet barbecue or just the regular barbecue?
It is the tangy barbecue.
Oh, tangy. That's right. Tangy.
Here's his tweet. Okay, Twitch, let's talk reality. You need more ad revenue. It's clear. Forcing it on your community is the worst way to go about it. You're much better than this. How about you unlock free emote slots for non-subs if they watch ads in the channel? How about front page time for streamers if they get their community behind supporting them with ads? There's so many unexplored, interesting things you could do. I think if you were to say, instead of channel points, right, for you to unlock an emote with a certain amount of channel points, watch ads, and then you can get access to the emotes, and then in turn, the streamer can get some of the ad revenue on the back end as well.
They used to do that with biddies. Remember that? They used to.
We need to do that all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch tons of ads just farming biddies.
Farm bits, yeah.
Yep.
For me, I don't think that I would watch ads to get emotes, but I know a lot of people would. I'm trying to think of what would get me
to watch an ad.
Yeah, like what as a creator, not as a viewer. I'm trying to think on the creator aspect of things. Like if streamers could get 6 months of past broadcasts stored instead of 2 months, maybe that would be an incentive to get me to watch a little bit more ads. What if it was like a sub train sort of thing, like a scam train, where like the streamer could break away from their content like during a break and could be like, hey, we just have to accumulate this many watch hours, and it's like some ticker. It's a game. They gamify the experience, and it's like, hey, chat, go and watch this ad, or go and follow these guys on Twitter, like player.gg does some of the stuff where it's a giveaway related to following, doing all these different bullet points, like following player.gg on Twitter, following Crocs and Hot Pockets on Facebook, following Crocs and Hot Pockets on Gleam
on
giveaway.
Yeah, like Gleam. It's exactly like Gleam. So if they did something like that, where it was a gamified experience for chat to take part, and if chat was successful, like they would be able to. I know that Trainwrecks does something with, I think it's Cash App, where if they get enough retweets or tweets with a certain hashtag, then they'll give away like $1,000 to the chat, to people that are putting their cash tags in chat. And it's like, that's a great ad opportunity, right? They get a ton of engagement. They take over I think last week or their last Trainwrecks podcast, they were like #1 on Twitter trending for their hashtag because so many people were tweeting it so they could, get paid by Cash App. But I think if they did stuff like that maybe it was a little less spammy, like maybe they had a ticker for interaction. So if you watch if your viewers watch the video and you get, 10, you're looking for 100 watch minutes or watch hours or whatever, and you had a ticker that counted that, I think that would be something great, because then chat has some sort of interaction, and then the streamer can be like, hey, get in there, go and check it out, and like pump the chat up to do it. I think that would be a good idea, but it's hard for Twitch to do that across the board, because then you would just have, most streamers would be like, fuck those guys. Yeah, just go watch this because they're forcing me to do this.
Yeah.
So it'd be tough. There's no easy solution. I think that, like you just said, Twitch is going about it the wrong way right now. Hopefully, smarter heads prevail in the end. But like I mentioned before, this is just the beginning. Like ads, they're not going away, and the only way they're going to go away is if they get some sort of revenue themselves. So you got to give up something to give something, whether that's buying Twitch Turbo because you're fed up with ads, whether that is doing some sort of quid pro quo arrangement, whether you're a creator doing it or as a viewer. But something will change. They know that this approach wasn't the right one, but they're going to keep throwing shit at a wall and see what sticks.
I honestly believe that they are trying their hardest to not make Twitch Turbo appealing so that they can pull more ads. Because I'm no expert, but I almost guarantee that the amount of money that they would make serving ads to people greatly outweighs the revenue from Twitch Turbo.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Right? Like, there's a reason
Over
they
time,
don't
yeah.
advertise
Well,
Twitch Turbo at all.
No.
Like, people don't
$10
even
a
know
viewer,
that.
though. I mean, if they're able to convince, at Twitch Turbo is $10 a viewer per month, right? If they're able to convince, like an ad buy, you wouldn't necessarily get $10 per viewer. You would probably get per view. I think it's like for 1 million views on YouTube, you get about $2,000 for ad buys, or for.
But that's
CPM.
also that's a flat rate for Twitch Turbo. For ads, what if you have a user that watches 80 hours a week of Twitch?
Right. Okay.
Right, and then you have
It's
a Twitch
scalable,
Turbo
yeah.
user who it's just a flat rate, you know. So
Right.
those numbers they interest me a lot because I would like to see what the difference is between the two.
And if they start making more money off of the ads, they're going to be like, "Fuck this Twitch Turbo thing." Hey, no, it's going to be like the Twitch Prime thing. Like, "Oh, hey, Twitch Turbo, you no longer have like the immunity to ads. We're going to play 25% more."
Yep. For anybody in chat that does not know, there is something called Twitch Turbo. It's $8.99 a month. All it does is removes ads for the entire platform for you.
Wait, you also have an expanded emoticon set.
I have that. Yeah.
And if you already had it if you had
right, which I did
way back when. But
so yeah, it's interesting. We're gonna see some changes coming in the near future. It will be.
It ain't going away.
Yeah, it's not going away, and they got to find a way to do it. But again, like you said, Bishop, they got to lead and set a follow because there's no other site that's doing what Twitch is right now.
Yep. They've got the wind behind their sails, and they're just like, "Hey, how about we shoot a slug shot through right there in the sail and see if that helps?" And now they're got a bunch of holes in that shit, and people are like, "Well, maybe we're going to end up going to a different platform." And I think the thing YouTube needs to do to compete now is. I still don't know how to find live on YouTube, like live content on YouTube. If I go to Jacksepticeye's channel and I heard that he was streaming because he was co-streaming with someone on Twitch, I still can't find his live stream by just going to his channel. It's not very clear. And maybe I'm just a moron.
This has nothing to do with that, but I just wanted everyone to know, including you two, that you can get the meat sweats from chicken nuggets.
You got them right now?
Oh, I'm getting the meat sweats, but it was worth eating 17 out of those 20 nuggets just now.
Oh, you got 20.
I don't remember you eating a single nugget. I think I
didn't
so
stop,
enamored.
man. I was just straight, just going and listening to you guys and just stuffing my gullet with nuggets. It was great.
Hey,
it was a
what
good
are
time.
what are the Twitch Turbo specific emotes?
The purple, there's a purple.
Yeah, there's
heart.
like these little monkeys and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wait, how do I find them? I should have them. I'm getting skazammed.
They're in there somewhere.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, do you guys have all the different hearts with
They go
flags
under
inside
like
them?
the little unlocked section.
Oh!
There's
my
Twitch
god. Oh,
Turbo
my
emote.
section's fucking huge. Oh, wait, dude, there's Pokemans. Do you guys have Pokemans?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Wait, you guys have the Pokemans? What the fuck, dude?
Mm-hmm.
Are they under
mad.
miscellaneous?
I'm just
Mine
gonna
are
post
in
it.
the unlocked section. They're like
here we
those little
go.
monkey. You can change the appearance of the smiley face emotes to either like the regular face or the monkey face.
That's what it is. Okay,
It's not. That's all it is.
See, I have the BTTV emote menu, so mine's different than the stock one. So I don't know where they're listed. I don't know if they're under the globals or the miscellaneous, but interesting. All right, you guys want to get into the Q&A?
Do it.
Yeah, let's get it.
First question from Hellhound. General question. With the amount of games going on multiple platforms, do you find yourself preferring to stay with one and either waiting for a game to come to your preferred platform or settling for a console version to avoid having 50 launchers on your PC?
Well, I think it's easy for me to answer this because I usually just play the console version. So, yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm done.
So a good example of this is Borderlands, because I know that it came out on Epic Games first, and I was waiting for it on Steam. I was willing to do that. I think it depends on the game, because I did buy an Xbox for Red Dead Redemption and then played it only a little bit and never beat it. And then I ended up rebuying it on PC. So I think it kind of boils down to the different game. It boils down to the game. Like, is the game is the hype worth me going and buying a console, or buying it for that console before I get it on my preferable system? One thing I found with owning an Xbox, I have like the newest Xbox One X. I maybe have like 30 hours on it, and I also have a Switch. What I found is that even though I have those devices, I rarely play them over my PC. Like, if I own a game on those devices, I will buy it on my PC just so I don't have to go over there for convenience sake. So I will wait as long as it's not something that's like a groundbreaking thing. Like, if the PS5 comes out and there's a new game on there that it's going to be a year exclusive or 6 month exclusive, and I really, really badly want to play it, maybe I'll do it. Like, a GTA comes out and it's on console for 6 months before it comes out on PC. Maybe I'll play it. Or maybe I'll get the console or play it on the console if I have one. But in most cases, I wait until, like, Epic Games even, I will wait for it to come out on Steam before I play it.
You're that stingy about it?
Yeah, I think Epic Games is better now, but I come from the time before Fortnite and Epic Games Launcher. Not only have I lost my account like 5-10 times to hackers, even with 2A, the information's been leaked plenty of times. I'm just like, I've dealt with bullshit with Steam maybe like a handful of times in the 10-15 years that I've been using it. With Epic Games, like, obviously it's a newer thing. I don't think the necessity is really not there, and I don't need it. It's just it's kind of like EA. EA's like, oh, well, we see Steam's a thing. We want our games on our own launcher, and then Ubisoft's like, hey, we're gonna have our own launcher. It's like, okay, no, let me know when your games are out on Steam, because I'm not going over to your fucking dog shit and having to set up 50 different means of logging in. It's just annoying.
I'm a PC gamer first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Switch. I have a PS4. I don't care about either of them. I prefer to sit in my chair at my PC with a operating system and a keyboard and a mouse. The only time I like gaming with a controller is with a party game or with Rocket League, and that is it. I prefer this platform. The only time I'm buying a console is with the Nintendo Switch. I don't care about exclusives for the Xbox or the PS4. I obviously got the PS4 because of, I don't fucking even remember. It must have been because I knew I wanted to play Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. But if I wasn't a streamer, I wouldn't have picked up the PS4 in a million years. Like, I don't care. I don't care about the platform. I don't care about its UI. I don't care about its subpar graphics and refresh rate. I'm a PC gamer. I live on the PC. This is my life.
Do you get FOMO of when you see the PS4 and you're like, the new one's coming out soon, and I've hardly touched this? Because I feel bad that I own my Xbox.
I have not given a single thought to either of the new Xbox or PS4 coming out. I've not cared a single bit. And I feel like that makes me a bad gamer and a bad streamer, but I just don't care.
Bad counsel, Dad.
But yeah. Bad game streamer.
Yeah, I look at my Xbox and I'm like, the amount of missed opportunity that device had to be played. It's kind of sad. I'm like, because it's a decent PC, right? Like an Xbox, there's decent components in there, and I'm like, man, that thing really is missing out on life. So Jimmy has like a 10-minute long yawn right now.
The reasons why people love consoles do not fit my lifestyle. All the reasons why people prefer them, they don't align with mine. I don't think they're bad. They're not destroying the gaming community. There's no reason. I live on PC. My friends live on PC. I prefer high resolution, high frame rate. Console exclusivity can suck my fucking dick. And I'm especially living this shit with VR right now. The amount of titles that are coming out for one platform of VR and not to others is staggering, and my blood is boiling just thinking about it right now. The fact that you have to buy into other platforms in order to experience a game drives me up the fucking wall. That's a conversation for another podcast.
You mad, bro?
A little. I'm actually a lot mad about it, to be honest.
Mad, bro.
You're talking about like Oculus and Vive, right? Like the
or PS4. Gotcha. the PS4 had some exclusive titles that were pretty cool, you know? So.
You got to buy a $500 box just to play a single game and then never play it ever again. That's literally my Xbox. Like, I look at it and I'm like, I feel I should sell. So someone can play.
Final thoughts, Jimmy?
I like consoles.
We know you do. Next question from Mel say how does a block of cheese last a month? A week max here. What are you making with this blocks of cheese? Yeah, if you buy like a block of sharp cheddar
It
or
depends
mozzarella,
on the type of cheese.
Yeah,
it just depends on the type of cheese.
There's plenty of cheese that are pumped heavily with preservatives that last.
Little known fact, Knacker's mouth is actually filled with preservatives. So he's just spitting all over it, and it's being preserved.
100%. If you go and buy like some Gouda, like some fresh Gouda or some fresh mozzarella, that shit's not lasting a month. There's certain types
of cheeses that will only last a week or two in the fridge.
But you go buy some like Mexican 4 cheese shredded in a bag, months.
Yeah, that'll last months in the fridge.
Easy. From the same person, what is everyone's favorite cheese?
Sharp cheddar.
Provolone.
Provolone would probably be like top 3 for me.
Yeah.
Swiss would be my number 2.
There's so many cheeses that I love.
I loved a lot too.
Least favorite cheese? Go. That's easier. Blue cheese for me.
Monterey.
You don't like Monterey Jack?
No. I feel like somebody just took a cheese and then added some spice to it. It was like, let's just call this a new cheese.
Let's add some
Monterey Jack on some like tortillas. I like tortilla and cheese. Monterey Jack's pretty damn good, actually.
I think. Never mind.
What? Oh.
I would say brie is probably one of like.
Really? Camembert cheese. I don't like that one either, man.
Really?
Brie is probably number 1, and number 2 there is a cheese. I don't know if this is like a household name. Either. You don't like ricotta?
No.
Ricotta and goat are kind of for me.
Yeah.
Cotswold and chive. It's a yellow cheddar that has chives that's in it, and it's fucking amazing for like breakfast and brunch foods. So I would
on your next stream, can you do like a cheese tier list?
Sure, absolutely.
Maybe you have like a call in. Jimmy calls you in, and we do. Or I don't even need to be there because I don't know my cheeses. I just like eating.
I have 4 cheeses in my fridge at all times. Always.
Yeah. You should do a cheese tier list because I think it would go a long way. It would help people out there.
Now that I've been doing a little bit of Italian cooking, Pecorino Romano has definitely like wiggled its way up to the top for sure. Next question from Bearded Corvus. Do you think the hype around the 30 cards are worth it? So the 3080, 3090, these new NVIDIA cards that are coming out. Absolutely, I do as well. I have always been hesitant as far as gaming benchmarks before they actually hit the reviewers, but now that cards have made it into the hands of reviewers and the results are staggering, again, NVIDIA embellished a lot of facts when they say, when they're up there and they're saying these cards are 2 times, 3 times as fast, that's never the practical case. There's always a little bit of an asterisk next to it. But yeah, these new cards are very powerful. You should never feel bad for your purchases because something better is always around the bend. But holy shit, if you spent money on a 2080 Ti in the past year, you could feel a little shitty because of the amount of power that are in these new cards for the price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next question, second to last from Girthy. If Twitch shut down, did something bad enough to warrant leaving, what platform would you move your streams community to?
Mixer.
I have some bad news for you, pal.
Oh shit! I was hoping to come back.
I would say YouTube. YouTube's the closest thing to Twitch right now, and obviously it's not the same. But their live streaming component. What I've seen, the only YouTube live stream I've ever watched was a Dr. Disrespect stream. It was one of his first streams back. That's it. I watched some of that. So they've made it somewhat like Twitch. So I would say if Twitch were to disappear, and I was still wanting to stream, that's where I would go.
I would, you know what I'd do? I would go to Pornhub and just play games. Because maybe I could get that residual viewership.
But does Pornhub have a live component, or is it all pre-recorded?
Cams, live cams, don't they?
I don't know. Shit.
We'll research in the next
Okay,
podcast.
we should research. We'll
Yeah.
do some research.
Yes.
But if there was a way to track, now we going back to this tracking thing, after a guy is finished or a girl is finished, they're no longer seeking sexual companionship or whatever. And if they could redirect that traffic to my stream, then I could have like a realistic conversation with someone.
Right. Except if anyone ever says in your chat room that their keyboard's sticking,
yeah. And so
it's going to take your brain in a weird spot. You know?
Sticky
it'd be like a funnel of like post-Coomer viewership. Yeah.
Push of love type of thing.
Yeah. That'd be good for me.
I would
post-nut clarity streams.
I would definitely go to YouTube. Even before Mixer went down, my answer was still YouTube, because they seem to be the only other platform that actually understands what the fuck is going on to an extent.
Yes.
To an extent. Last question from Girthy as a follow-up. What could drive you to eventually leave Twitch aside them closing down?
No viewers.
Yep.
I mean, if my viewership went off a cliff and people stopped coming to hang out, that was to stop streaming, right? Is that?
No, if Twitch actually did something to make you leave the platform, like what could Twitch do?
Oh, what could Twitch do?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough thing to answer, because my brain doesn't work that way, in the sense that like I don't have a preconceived response of something that hasn't happened, and I haven't thought of a particular situation of anything that the big company Twitch could do to me egregiously that would make me say, I'm not streaming on this platform anymore. You know what I mean?
They stop paying your subs. How about that? If you didn't get a direct deposit after like 6 months of streaming.
In the way that Twitch only sees us as a number, you should only see Twitch as a platform. You should not have platform loyalty. You should not be sitting here like all of my morals have to be in line with Twitch's morals, because I guarantee if you were to go and sit in a room with Twitch's top executives and learn their political views and how they feel about abortion and gay rights, you'd probably be fucking out of there. You have to treat it like this is just a platform that allows me to do what I do. If you're one of those people that's how you lead your life based on how people feel at the top level, you're going to have a hard time. So there would have to be a lot for Twitch to do as a platform for me to go, all right, you know what? I'm out of here. But the other thing you have to think of is, okay, where else could I go that actually competes with Twitch? And that answer right now is
YouTube.
Nowhere.
Well, Facebook, I think, has a pretty good chunk of market share too.
Right.
They have more than Mixer did.
So. I think you said it right, Knackers, when you said you're going to have a hard time, and this is a good time for me to announce my Pornhub live streams.
Hard.
The motto is you're going to have a hard time, and I will be streaming only gameplay specifically.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
I think I would leave if Twitch stopped paying out, right? Like if they stopped paying streamers for the time that they're putting in. So if people were subbing and paying for that, and they chose to cut even deeper, because streamers are getting fucked for the amount of time that they're putting in. Mm-hmm. Especially, smaller streamers are getting, for the revenue split's already kind of shitty. But I think that the only other thing would just be if they had like an extreme presentation of bias, right? So like if they were making decisions that were specific to like certain races or certain ethnic groups or certain sexualities or anything like that, and making rule sets that benefit. I mean, it'd just be like a ethical thing, right? Like if they were benefiting
extremes.
One group, yeah, it would have to be pretty extreme. Obviously, there's the Alinity thing and her getting banned versus other streamers getting banned, but it would have to be more extreme than that. Like if their ruling was specific to certain people, I would make a decision. Also, if they if they just keep diving down, like forgetting that they are a platform and wanting to be more of a, like, I feel like Twitch's social media really doesn't represent the people that use Twitch at all. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that they actually understand their audience very much. So I think if it went any worse, if there was a better place that represented itself, I would think to go there, but it would fall in line with other people doing it as well. Like that would. I wouldn't just jump ship just because there's other places to go. I mean, I think you see a lot of people do that, and people watch things. They have habits. You'd have to convince a huge audience to move over to a different platform, and that's the hardest thing to do. But it would be very easy if Twitch fucked their own reputation up somehow, because people wouldn't want to engage in their website and support them.
They're getting there.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
All right, my friends. Well, that is the end of the Q&A, and that is also the end of our podcast. So what we're going to do is go around the room, have these fellows announce what they have coming up on their channels or their internet lives, and then we'll close this bitch down. So, Bishop GP, we'll start with you.
You can find me here on Twitch at Bishop GP. You can find me on Twitter at Bishop Was Here. Probably do some racing game stuff. I'm actually building out a bunch of graphics for Gears of War, which I don't play a ton, but that'll be interesting. So that'll be on UMG this week, UMG Gaming on Twitch and on Twitter. So you guys can check that out. There's some, it's called Emergence Days. So I'm making a broadcast graphics pack for that. So that'll be kind of cool.
Sweet.
Cool. My name is Jimmy. You can find me here on Twitch at Middle Age Stream. Also on Instagram, Middle Age Stream, or at middleagestream.com, where also you can buy all the hottest Middle Age Stream merch, including hats, swimsuits, flip-flops, and coming soon.
You fucked the link up.
The link's destroyed, dude.
Did I totally? Oh.
You double copy pasted.
Middle Age Stream.
Oh, man. All right, wait.
Still looks
there
good.
There it is. There it is. Don't follow the first link. But I'm going to finish Super Castlevania 4. I think we're going to do, I think Castlevania Bloodlines on Sega Genesis is next for me. But I've got some fun stuff coming up. We're almost into October. I'll be doing some October themed related stuff. We'll do some scary shit. We'll do at least one scary game. And, October's kind of, I'm not really into Halloween, but I kind of enjoy like Twitch Halloween. It's kind of fun. I very much enjoy the Spooktober events in October on Twitch. So I'm excited about that.
My name is Knackers. You guys can find me on this very Twitch channel or on Knackers, or on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Knackers with 3 A's. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out during this episode of the podcast. I will see you next week for the rescheduled event of Reanimator on the podcast. One of the producers for that Twitch TV show, Ven. Going to be getting all the juicy details on that. And then, of course, this group show will be back in 2 weeks for episode 131. You guys are all super fucking awesome. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, and we will catch you all later.